Hello, everyone. And I would say normally welcome to a new Hack the Box Ottawa meetup, but I guess at this point it's going to be a little bit different. If you guys are not part of, I hope everyone is doing well with the holidays right now and all that stuff. That's probably what I should talk about first, and so on. And you're enjoying your time with your family and friends, and it's going to be a time as well to be able to recharge your batteries. So the New Year's in 2025 is going to be much better, and we're going to be able to do some more together. So I think there is a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up to 2025. It's going to be very fun, very interesting. In our case right now, and that's probably what the reason why you're tuning in is I've been developing lately a very good or very high interest into hardware hacking and IoT hacking. And this is something that could be very interesting for a lot of people. So obviously I do not have a whole lot of experience doing that, but I thought that it'd be great to start having live streamings and talk about my journey about it, but also getting you guys to be able to join us and be able to talk about these stuff. So I think that could be very, very interesting for most people. Obviously, it's not going to be the cup of soup for everyone, but I hope it will be yours, right? At the end of the day, that's the goal, is to be able to get and enjoy and have some fun in there. So obviously, throughout this journey, we're going to have to establish some of the guidelines and expectations to make sure that people are not just joining in for the sake of getting all the answers right away, but to be able to join in and learn as well as we're moving along. There is tons of stuff about IoT. Just to give you a little prelude right now, I basically took apart one of my board for Wi-Fi. Maybe hold on. So here's the case of the Wi-Fi, basically a router, and that's a D-Link. What's it called again? A D-Link DIR 890L, right? So that's a router I used to use like a long time ago. I'm not using it anymore, but there's like a bunch of stuff. You can see the gut inside has been removed. So there's lots of stuff that could be, we could learn from it and see if maybe D-Link is doing their stuff properly. And if not, well, we're going to be able to discover it. I have another one as well that I want to go through. It's basically another router, but this one is more of a Linksys, or sorry, not it. This one says Cisco. Basically speaking, it's a EA6500. So that could be also another good one. I found the actual chip on this one to be able to get the firmware from, and probably trying to do some investigations about it, right? Could also, like in some of the cases I've seen, what's it called? Reverse engineering, basically proprietary encryption. So that was done by the company that had a security camera. I got also talking about security camera. I mean, I took it all apart, so it won't make much sense for you. But if I put the little thing here in the camera, I got another one, which is a FLIR over here. I have no idea if they're secure. I really have no idea, right? So I took it apart right away to start understanding what's going on. Oh, maybe I can turn on my other camera and add it up. That might be interesting to have this part as well too. Let me see. Just need to present an extra camera over here. Can I get the? Oh no, I cannot. It's not the right thing. I need to put it on the. Yeah, I need to put it on the other computer, not this one. It's not plugged on this one. But maybe for next time, I'll be able to do that. So you have like a top-down shot, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, or at least see what I'm trying to show you. So yeah, so basically that's the actual camera that I have, which is a security camera. Sometimes we can think that we are going to do the right thing by having an actual camera in front of us, not in front of us, but to offer security inside your house or your business or whatnot. And sometimes we don't realize that it might be even worse. In one case that I've seen on the video, basically speaking, the cipher, or the way it was encrypted, was easily guessable, right? And then eventually at the other end, which was in China, it was like the company could have decrypted all the stream that goes through, right? So seeing everything that's going on in your house and also the camera. So that's the type of stuff. And if we keep going and then it works well, I have maybe some other devices that I don't really care about that we could take apart. Part of it as well is some of those hacks or some of the hardware hacking you can actually do will have some what's it called, UART, you can call it, right? And then you can extract the firmware from it. And that's something I'm thinking about doing. And then once I have this, is to share it in Discord, right? So we can just like have fun at it and be able to discover a couple of things all together. So that could be very, very cool. And another one here I took apart. That's an old router. Again, like I've been keeping those ones for a while. I don't need them anymore. So I was like, I won't use them at all. They're so old. I think this one doesn't even have like Wi-Fi on it. I don't think so. So it's not even a gigabit. It's probably like 100 megabyte per second router. So at the end of the day, do I really need this? Do I need to put that there? No. So that's the reason why I'm thinking about just like putting them out there and see if we can take a look at the firmware and have fun with it. Yeah. So how you guys doing? I see we have a couple people here joining us that are on YouTube, and I got also X and Twitch. There you go. I got a couple people in the 3 platforms. That's great. How are you guys doing? Feel free to send me a comment, chat with us, or chat with me for now. I may have someone else that might be joining in like maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes if he's able to. We're going to be able to talk about some other stuff that could be very interesting at the end of the day. So some of the things that I want to really like make sure that we understand is, again, this is a learning curve. This is something for me as well that's it's not going to be the easiest thing to go through, but we're going to set a budget, right? So I'd like to have a realistic budget for most people that can afford, right? Because the goal is to be able to have most of us be able to do it. So as we're going through some of the videos, at least like one guy that I selected that seems to be very good potential for most people to be able to learn from. He also has guides about what he would recommend on doing, right? So that's one of the things that I'd like to be able to go through and then eventually share with all of you, so you can actually come in and then learn from that. Am I able to share? I'm going to share my Discord server that you can join us. If you're just joining in right now, not everyone will see it. So people on X are not going to be able to see that most likely. So make sure you come and join our either, like you choose the platform you like. If you prefer to have YouTube, I have 2 different channels with the Hack the Box Ottawa Meetup, or I have also the Mavic Security. By the way, this is not sponsored by Hack the Box. I'm doing it on my own. They're not asking me to do that. And there's pretty much none of the products that I'll be using. Like, obviously, I got a shirt. It's just, I was wearing this shirt today. So it just happened to be like that. But otherwise, it's not a Hack the Box sponsored event right now. So keep that in mind. Good. We may have some Hack the Box folks listening at one point. I know I got a like from a Hack the Box employee on Discord onto the post I've sent onto the general channel. So that's something that, again, like I said, may have some folks from there, but this is not to be expected at this point, in this case. Good. All right, so let me share, like, you guys can join in whenever you want. I posted it directly there, but I think I'm going to share the link right now of the guy. Oh no, okay, no. Let's start with this one. Yeah, it's the same guy at the end, but I'm going to share on YouTube, or share my screen right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's go, not a Chrome tab. We're going to go for a window with this guy here. Okay. So share this one. All right, so this guy, can I make it a little bit bigger? There we go. Okay, so this guy, Matt Brown, very interesting. Why I came up to this this one here specifically, it's because of the US government to ban TP-Link devices, right? So he does a live hacking with the, I don't know if they're Chinese, to be honest, potentially, yes, but I don't want to expand on this because I'm not sure. It's probably Google that we can do later on and trying to figure this out. However, what he goes through is like talking about what he does to be able to get through the whole hack, right? Understanding exactly what TP-Link is actually doing. If we Okay, so let me just like mute this because I don't want to get those videos there. Okay, good. So are we able to get there? All right, so what he's talking about was like these pins are basically a connection with UART, right? Right now, what you see here, 3.2, it's basically the voltage because that pin here indicates the voltage. So you put one pin onto, I have my multimeter here, right? So stuff that you can have at home, can probably try to do it as much as possible. But basically speaking, what he does is he takes the ground and then like the positive and negative, right, together, put them into specific pins, and then able to read exactly what's going on with this. Like, because the thing is, at the end of the day, he needs another cable that will help him out to, are we going to see it here? Because this one is super easy for him to do. Okay, maybe it's a little bit earlier he was talking about it. Let's see. Okay, so that's the USB cable that you can see here on the bottom left, right? That's connected onto another computer. And again, I'm going to be recycling a lot of stuff, a lot of the gear I have. So right now I have a laptop that that was given to me in 2018, and it was already old. And you can see here, it's a Lenovo. I put Kali on it. It's going to be good enough to be able to do exactly that, exactly what we need to do. That's the reason why I picked up this one. I got lots of Mac devices I could have taken, but there's no reason why I should take this as my main driver to be able to do that. So basically speaking, we take that cable there, that's at the bottom, connected on our computer, and then we have exactly like each pins are named for something specific, which we are going to match it with the board, right? So it depends on which one it is. So for example, this one, that D-Link does not have that, or at least as far as I could tell. The other D-Link, I don't think there is any pins for this. I was seeing here something that could be very interesting. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see it correctly on, yeah, this seems to be fine enough. But I don't know if these ones could be those pins. That's something I'm going to have to check out in this case for this router. And even the other router, I'm going to have to check it. But at the end of the day, I have the chip, right? So you can see here also over there, he torn apart some of the shield that there is there, right? Because this chip is what holds the firmware, right? So right now he has that communication through this, but if he needs to extract the firmware, he's going to remove the solder, this chip, to be able to read it. So that's something that could be very interesting to actually do and get all together, right? As we're moving along, again, this is one example here of, so you get an example of what we are going to try to accomplish over time. Then eventually over here, while you see here, it's connected on the USB, while the USB is connected, and he's going to try to establish the whole connection together. I don't know if we are going to see the whole thing here. Let me see. Goes a little bit further down. And then start establishing the connection, the SIM response error. Oh, yeah, he started it. Okay, so everything is established. He started the machine, and then as he started the machine, he's able to take a look at the terminal, what it does actually, which is something that normally we don't see, right? Once you start, you get your machine, you start it up, you press on that power button that's right here at the back. You don't see exactly what's going on in the back end there. You have no idea. But in this case, because he plugged in and he has connection with the 4 pins, which one, like the first one I was starting to describing, I should probably give the whole description. First one was the voltage, so we know which cable we need to use on the USB side. Next piece is the transmit, right, pin, the receive pin, and then the last one is the ground pin. That's why there's 4 cable there. Then after that, once we start that device, we can just monitor it and then see exactly what's going on. Let's see what else he did. Again, this is just a big rundown. I'm going to share that onto the channels there, so you guys can see exactly what it entails. And yeah, let's keep going over here. I think he's taking it off right now, right? As you can see here, he has his hot air going on, and then he's trying to take it off, right? Put it on the side, and then that chip reader, that's something we're going to have to take a look at how much it costs and purchase a device like that. I think it's going to be very very interesting. You can see here it's going to be plugged through USB, right? And this case over here, now you use the Mini Pro, connects to it, and start reading the code, right? And then eventually it's going to do a bin walk because he's going to get the FW, like the firmware.bin. That's how he named it. And then eventually he's going to start extracting the information. Okay, so you put back the chip at its place, but eventually keeps going through the whole thing. So now you can see here he's going through Squash FS root, right? So he's able to read a couple of things, and then he has also a admin and then a hash that's going to be here, right? This hash, obviously, you can read it. You're going to be able to use like appropriate tools to be able to do that. Wow, you can see here he's going directly online, and then you can see here admin 1234. So basically, he was able to find the actual admin password out of the hash. Excuse me. So that's the thing. That's the type of thing. So we're basically doing two different things in here, right? The typical type of hacks we're used to. If you have experience, let's say try hack me or hack the box platform or anything else, right? But in this case, right now he's doing hardware hacking. So he's going to get the firmware that's right there to be able to play around with it, and that's the exact thing that I like to be able to do, because ultimately I'm very familiar onto how we do OS hacking like Linux. And in this case, it's kind of a mix. We are starting to understand a little bit more like hardware, how it works, and then we are going to go all around that. So that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? So, I think there's someone, that's the guy I was talking about. He's probably ready to join. Let me just add him up real quick. I send him an invite link. You guys probably heard that as well too. Let's copy this and then send it to him. All right, so and as you can see, he entered the credentials there, and he was able to get access as root to the machine. And then now from there, I mean, it's pretty much like be my guest, trying to figure it out exactly what's going on and so on. Another thing too is you can just change the actual way that the machine is acting, right? So if we take a look here, do we see it here? Probably it was a little bit before. So the admin, if I go back, probably before, are we going to see it? Not sure. So before we got the 1234, it was like /bin/login. But now what he's doing is he's changing it to SH. So instead of being stuck into a root that's limited, in this case, he's going to go with SH to be able to give access directly to the machine, and then recompile it, if you can take it this way, to be able to push it directly as a new firmware to the device. Let's keep taking a look at it and go a little bit further down. Oh, there you go. That's something I don't need to see. Some ads. I'm not paying for this account to be able to get it. And let's move a little bit ahead. Oh, there we go. Now, that's a different interface. He was just showing that he was able to hack through some other stuff. I'm quite sure that's what it was. But I think he's going to be able to get access to. Okay, now right now at this point he was talking about that he's going to a Chinese location. Either way, so that's the whole thing. That's what brought me the interest into understanding exactly how to be able to do the hacking. Is it going to be that easy? I highly doubt it's going to be super easy. Do I have a lot of knowledge about electric, like little computers and stuff like that, like this, like how those chips are all working? No, I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. I've done some repair. I mean, when I was young, let's say 14, 15 years old, I was actually doing modding for PS1. So that's one thing that could be, that was interesting. Hey, Jake. Yeah, so basically what we're talking about right now is hardware hacking, and we're talking about also the IoT hacking we're going to be covering. So what I was talking about that you're just joining in right now is basically that's a Wi-Fi router, right? I took the PCB out, and then now I'm going to take one of those chips. Well, I mean, I'm not going to do that right now on the streams, but we have to understand what are the first steps. And I just want to be able to go through all of this and making a difference over here. So I got someone that just joined. Give me the thumbs up if you're ready to come on stream. You let me know, and then I'll add you. You should be able to hear me. Can you hear me, Arsh? No? You're not able to hear me? So basically, that's exactly what it is. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be able to offer in this case, and I want to be able to move this forward altogether. Ooh, that's weird. My screen's just all flipped. Okay, good. Are you able to hear me, Arsh? He's waiting in the back end, and he's not. I don't think he hears me. So I'll wait for him to tell me if you're able to hear me. You see me, you hear me, thumbs up. No, he's not. So yeah, so that's basically what it is. I just need to take this off. But that's the router I took all apart. I just showed you the PCB. Right now you can see that there is nothing, so you can see the gut I showed you earlier. And what I want is to be able to get people to learn hacking. I mean, like a new topic with me at the same time as I'm learning it, right? So that's why we need to set an understanding exactly of the expectations and the guidelines of what we're going to be doing. I would say that detecting a hardware hack can be somehow difficult up to a point, right? So if it's already done, so if your supply chain has issues, right, it is going to be difficult to be able to decipher that, because obviously once you get the device into your location, you're going to need to hack it, or at least take a look at the firmware and then find out exactly how it's designed, right? If it's designed properly, you're going to be fine and good to go. If it's not designed properly, now you're going to need to get, let's say, a SIEM in place. You're going to need to get like logs and traffic analysis, or maybe like a network device that will take a look at what's going on. But obviously, if it's in the if your device, which is the firewall at the same time that you have at home, like this again, which is a Wi-Fi router, it might be hard, right? It might be hard to be able to decipher that, because exactly, like, you can change the code, you can do exactly what you're looking for, what you want. And for you as a hacker, basically you have like invisible. You see everything that's going on into the machine, and then you have to travel all around. You get to travel all around, and then maybe catch password through HTTP that are not even secure or something like that. So that'd be somewhat of an issue. So that's basically what it is. So you have to figure it out if it's going to be good for you or not. So Arsh, are you able to hear me now? Thumbs up if you see me. All right, I'm going to put you on, and then we'll see. Hopefully it works out. You're on mute. I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Are you able to hear me? No, huh? You don't hear me. Eventually we will get you. So yeah, so basically that's what it is. So Harsh, whenever you get, talk with us, and then we are going to go a little bit further. So the next question here. So like, what happened with the phone that exploded in Hamas? Well, yeah, that's very similar to that. There was an issue in the supply chain. Those things were intercepted before, and then there was an issue, right? So that happened. That's exactly the same thing. So those things are going to explode because there was already something put in there. So if you are part of a big organization, so we can talk here for Canada. Again, this is an example for Canada. We can talk about those big companies, or even in US like a CIA or NSA. Sorry, here in Canada, CSIS and let's call again the other one, CSIS and CSC. There we go. Okay, there you go. So now we can hear you, Arsh.
Perfect. Perfect. Good morning, or I say good afternoon. How are
Yeah,
you, sir?
yeah, pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine as well, enjoying the Christmas time.
Oh,
Usually,
yeah.
few folks are very busy, but the last week of December is always a time to rest and relax. So,
Well, yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. I would say, let's say for my end, my perspective, I know you're a bit more on the red team side, so it might be a little bit different, right? But on the blue team side, this is
uh,
where the red team loves it. And when I say red team, could be hackers, could be anybody else that just loves to be able to do that. Because on the blue team side, you're doing the defense and you
yes,
start letting your guards down. You're not caring as much. You just want to go on vacations, right? So you might just not even think about it, click on the link or whatever. And for you, I mean, you're happy at that point.
I
You're a
understand you.
happy camper.
I was just about to come into the point that blue team job or the SOC folks that are in the industry, they have like 24/7. And I good to see the screen that we're discussing about this because we discussed an opportunity to discuss these TP-Link devices
Mhm.
with a lot of folks recently, considering it's now, I believe, a resolution or something going to be passed, and they're deciding on it for 2025 whether to ban or not. But yeah, let's see what figure how this comes out.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Uh, it's potential. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure about your comment here, Jake. It is potential that they have their own phone. What I would assume, it's probably not their own phone. However, what they do is they order them. They open them up. They remove some of the stuff that are not needed, so such as cameras, maybe microphones are not exactly needed. They just leave the important stuff in there. There is also a firmware that's being installed that is their own, right? So when they buy phones, they buy a batch, like a big batch, and then they go with this, and then they restructure the whole thing from A to Z. So is it really their own phone 100%? You might be right. I'm not going to say 100% that's you're wrong, but it is possible. Unless you're telling me otherwise, which I may not have the information to be honest. It might be hard for an organization like the CIA to be able to put money up front to be able to develop the hardware and all the R&D, research and development to be able to move forward. So, but at the end of the day, what you're saying about Hamas and then the pagers that were the phones that exploded, I think it's pagers. It's very true, right? Um, it's not a big explosive though that was there, but big enough to be able to kill probably or hurt or something like that. So that's what's interesting. You have some experience, I think, Harsh, with phone hacking, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's something that could be interesting eventually to talk about. Good. Have you connected your social media as well, Harsh?
Social media
Because
on
I
my
know
what?
you. Yeah, I know you can also share with your social media if you wanted to have your.
No, no, my
No.
I was streaming on. It's actually funny because I started streaming on YouTube and then I got those strikes because I was showing them how to hack into mobile devices, surfing dark web and everything. So after that, because it takes a lot of time to stream or to get ready for everything, and then when you get a strike, it's yeah. Then I moved to Twitch, but then Twitch do not record the session in my experience. Like it's just like a one time, but I'm not sure though.
Twitch, you can. However, you need to be, I believe, partnered with them to be able to move forward.
Okay, okay.
The Nokia phone. Yeah, that might be interesting. That could be interesting to take a look. I mean, like I was showing this device here. That's it's quite old,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
An old D-Link
Oh,
router. I mean, like that's the shell of it, so you can see that how old it is.
oh, this is really old
Yeah,
device.
oh yeah, this is really like we're talking about like probably over 15 years ago, right? Well over
saw
15
that.
years ago. But this is how you can start learning about these things. I'm not trying to understand the brand new things just yet. This is something that eventually we can cover into more segregated areas. But right now, this is something that could be interesting. So yeah. So basically, Arsh, I know you missed a part of it, but this is fine. What I was talking to the audience and even Jake at one point, it was like, look, there is lots of devices that we have in our house that we have no idea how to do security. And I mean, like lately, I was reading about TP-Link potential ban from the U.S. Government, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I saw this video from Matt Brown over here, which was actually bringing up a TP-Link device and did actual like live hacking. And I was like, you know what? I think it could be cool for me to start learning about it. And then I was like, okay, well, there's probably a lot more people that wants to learn about that. So then he brings us along onto his journey. Like this is the pins for UART, UART.
UART.
Yeah, and the 4 pins there I was talking about. So basically the 4th pin, which is here, that's the pin for voltage. Then after that, 1 or 2 pins here are like for transmit and receive. And then the first pin over here is the ground. So you plug this in, and then eventually once you plug it in, you get your cable. Well, I get this as well. Not something I want to show, but I guess that's a free advertisement for them. Let's skip this.
I think Brave browser bypasses it.
Yeah, but I'm not putting a bunch of stuff there to bypass all those stuff. Okay, so, and then what I was showing to people is like they connect to it, and then now see, so that's basically what's happening right now. Like he just turned it on, and as he turned it on, all that stuff is showing up. All the information is showing up, right? About like pretty much a Linux device, and he just goes through, and then eventually he's going to be able to just like do some stuff with it. However, he's going to be into a place where it's going to be a little bit more lockdown because it's going to be under /bin/login. But over the course of what he has to go through, we're going to see that he's able to just change that, reflash the chip, and then after that, he's going to be able to take over the actual machine. As soon as he press power, he's able to take over the machine. He has the admin password, which is 1234. Easy enough. And then keep going with this. So it makes a big difference over here. So this is the chip he's removing eventually, right? And then even a little bit later on, he put it into a device. And that's part of the stuff I want to start working on, is to buy that device, being able to put chips in there, and then start reading them, getting the bin, the firmware out of it, extracting it. So that's the device that he's just pointing at. And what is it called? Okay, he's putting it back in there, but eventually it keeps going through. So you can see here, that's the password he found, that's the hash he found, and he's just going to change the whole thing, like you see here, bin sh. So that's the thing. That's what's interesting. You wanted to say something?
No, I was saying some companies already have the firmwares in the binary format available on their site.
It's quite possible, yes. Quite possible.
You can just go there and play around. And there are some emulators available that can work as a router or as an IoT device or along those lines, which you can install them and work around. But that's a little bit of research to be done. But yeah, those things are available.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know exactly which one are available. That could be good eventually to make a list and figure that out. I see here, like, I mean, this is good, what you're saying, emulators, but at the same time, it's also good to start working on these, because there's also bug bounties that you can work with. He was talking about one bug bounty that he worked on in one of his videos that you can see. I don't know. Oh yeah, this one. That's the video he was talking about. So what he did, he basically spoofed a NTP. Is it this one? Hold on. I'm not too sure if that's the one. But either way, he did a bug, and then he was able to earn a 5-figure revenue basically out of that. That was directly for one of those devices. He also talked about a project he's working on, or at least he was working on a project, right? He was traveling, That's a month ago. And on this one here, he's talking about like all the stuff he's going to be bringing with him, so he can work still in that call it like secret project, because he's not able to talk about it. Right? It's probably a company that reached out to him and asked him to do that, and then he has to do the work for them, but not able to talk about it. So yes, we could get emulators, but I think the fun of it is to be able to actually, if you get a new device at home and you want to just test out this, again, that's going to be at your own risk. This is not something that I would highly encourage you to do on your device that you have at home. And if you have no devices whatsoever, I would encourage you to go to the e-waste and just find an actual router, find a camera, find something, and just pick it up, right? If you're able to get it from the e-waste, or somebody from your family is getting rid of it, that's a way to be able to do that. And he demonstrated that, I think, was with Netgear Nighthawk at one point in one of his videos over here. Not sure if it's here. I'll see the camera. That's the camera I was talking about. So he has the camera. He took all the gut out, and then now he has everything plugged in. So it looks complicated, but it's not, right? So it's a bunch of prongs that goes through a specific chip, and then he's able to take a look at the actual thing that's going on there, right? So yeah, so that's very good. And then also he takes the encryption, right? Like he's able to decipher exactly what the encryption is and able to intercept basically what's going on with Wireshark in this case. So it's another way to be able to do that. So either way, that's what's interesting. So if I go back to his video over here, we can see here at the bottom, we have a bunch of tools that he's actually using. I'm going to click on his link because obviously I want to support him. They are affiliate links. I don't think he actually mentioned it here, maybe somehow, somewhere, but there is a bunch of stuff. And I think what I need to establish is what is going to be the budget that we should settle for, right? Oh, sorry, I missed your text a little bit earlier. I see here. Sorry, Jake. If the phones or router are modified, can traffic be detected with Wireshark that there is a hack or not? Well, it depends. Depends where you put Wireshark, because Wireshark, unless you're able to put it directly on your router and then just do it from the router, you're probably going to get caught by the hacker at the same time by doing that, right? So it might be a little bit hard to run a PCAP or TCP dump, if you understand, and then and trying to find this out. If you're running on your computer, you might not even find anything, because if it's not going through the network or something like that, you're not going to see it at all, right? Am I correct here, Harsh?
No, I think the question, what the person is trying to ask is that, yes, you can see some request to an anonymous server being sent if the phones or routers are being compromised. But I think the best way to do that is to look at the logs, because Wireshark has its own limitations on where you can use it or where you can deploy it. So I think that's what the person is trying to ask, because I get a lot of
yes, the phone, you're right. So for the phone, I agree with you on this. Phone, you should be able to intercept that, especially if they're Wi-Fi. You should be able to see some of the traffic that goes through. So thank you for correcting me there. But if the router is modified, that's where I think it's a little bit tricky. That's where I was more heading towards it initially.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you get your firewall that's on the enterprise side, that has, let's say, a backdoor, that happened in the past, right? Where there was a backdoor that was left open. I can't remember exactly which company. And obviously it got fixed right away. But ultimately, the bad guys could get the backdoor or through the backdoor, and it's going to be much harder to take a look at that. If there is enough information that goes through, and then there is logs that goes through your scene, that's perfect on the enterprise side, right? But if you are an individual, then have your own Wi-Fi router compromise, your home might be the hole there. So if you're a CEO of a company, that might be an issue, because you might have to deal with information that comes directly from that other organization, right, that you work for. And if they're able to take a look at some of the, let's say, passwords or hash or anything like that, that seems to be coming from your computer over there, that can be an issue. There's key loggers as well that could put into your computer eventually that could intercept this. And on the enterprise side, they wouldn't see that, right? So that's basically another attack surface that people don't really understand. Or even like supply chain. When we talk about supply chain, it could be Walmart getting a specific device, not the devices, but merchandise. right? So they have to deal with a company that produced them, and they need to figure out the amount of stock that there is available at Walmart. And then according to contract, they may need to supply extra stuff. But if they get compromised, they could pivot from that third party to Walmart at the end. Again, this is just an example. I know what happened in the past, but I don't want to go too in depth about it. Yeah, good. So I think that covers pretty much everything there, Arsh, on
Yes,
that piece. Okay, good. And thank you for. Make sure you correct me if I got something wrong. I
no
do
worries.
not think I have everything right. All right, so the UART adapter I was talking about is this one here. So let's go take a look. So we see it's a 3.3 volt. So this is the reason why he was checking that fourth pin on the right, is to try to figure out how much voltage there is. It was about 3.2 something, right? And go from there. Then once you connect that cable onto your computer, you have a bunch of different things you can go through to be able to take a look at the terminal. Obviously, you're going to need to know the baud rates that goes through. He says in general, it's going to be 115,200, I believe. Like, so 115,200 that you need to put there. You need to put extra stuff. And then eventually you're just listening in, you press on power, then you see everything going through. So that's a nice, interesting piece. We got multimeter. That's fine. Where was I? So there, logic analyzer. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the other device that the chip was on. Is it? Oh, is it that maybe? Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Oscilloscope. No, I don't think so. Programmer. Maybe it's that.
Quick question. Are you good at soldering?
I'm all right. Yeah, I got like
Oh,
I used to chip back in the day. I was 14 years old, 15 years old. About like what 25 years ago or so. I was modding PlayStations. I started at that point. So I did some sort of soldering. I have a machine here. I don't have a hot hair soldering machine. So that's something I'm gonna have to get eventually. But I don't know if that's going to be part of the scope to now, right now, right? So we're going to have to figure this out eventually and see if that should be part of the scope. This, I think, is very interesting. I think it's very interesting to potentially get and be part of the scope in this case. Something like this, obviously, I'm in .com. So we're in Canada here, so we're going to have to check out on the Canadian site. But this is something that I think we should probably get. So a machine like this seems to be hovering around $61. So we could take a look, probably like $100 Canadians. That could be part of that. Again, if we can repurpose any tools that we have at home, that's what I'm going to go for. So let's say I use my tools I have plus a specific budget. That'd be good. The other thing I think is this cable that could be very interesting. They're not, well, I mean, like this one here says it's not shipping here. I looked, I think, on the Canadian site, and I believe it was like, let's go on the Canadian site. I think it was like $25. Amazon.ca. So this one here is not connected on my account, so there's no, there's nothing. We're gonna say UART USB B cable 3.3 volts. So let's take a look.
I think the second one.
Yeah, so the second one here. So it's probably what we should get. Is there other ones? No. Well, the other ones might be good as well, but are they really necessary? No. So that would be good. What we would need as well after is like cables that goes in, and then we can solder after that. So like that type of thing, if you understand what I mean. System support, original on board. Good. So for those that are joining us, obviously it might be a little bit hard to understand what we're trying to achieve. What we're covering right now is the first steps on hardware hacking and IoT hacking. This is something that I've been looking at, especially with the potential ban of TP-Link and within the US government. So that's potentially something that will happen. And when I looked at a video, I saw there was something like very alarming. So how are we protected as we are diving into this new realm of IoT? I mean, like I'm saying new, but not new. It's been there for a while.
their hardware.
Yeah. Have you done at one point a pivot from one of those devices before to be able to get onto the network of a client that paid you to actually do that?
Yes, usually when we do the tracking the perimeter exercises, that's the cameras and other IoT devices are a bunch of target. And the good thing about these IoT devices is that everyone runs 99% of them runs on a Linux firmware. So then it's
Mhm.
just you have a lot of utilities to work with them, and then you can pivot from a camera or a kiosk into the other network. And the other thing that I've noticed is these special IoT devices are also whitelisted in the EDRs and in the firewall side because of their functioning or not able to figure that out as of much, but either it's an architectural review failure or something along those lines. But all those special devices like a kiosk or a camera, they are not part of the centrally managed uh, defensive mechanisms. So they are kind of whitelisted. So it's very easy for you to do your due diligence and found out network information from there. And they are not being monitored, so you can go uh, full guns blazing, in my opinion.
Yeah, very true. And one of the things I like during one of the Hack the Box Total meetup I was talking about is I recently acquired. I mean, like you're going to be like Jeff, you're a little bit late with the train, and I'm going to be yes, you're right. I'm quite late. I know exactly what are the capacities of that device, but this one here, the
Oh,
Flipper
Flipper
Zero,
Zero.
right? That's a very neat device. If I show it here a little bit bigger, so the Flipper Zero, which is a neat device that accomplishes a lot of stuff. However, it does not do Wi-Fi. So now you need to add your little device that goes
Yes.
directly on top of it, right? So you just like put it there, and then you need to align it, and then there you go. So now it's aligned with that. You know how long it took me to be able to hack my own Wi-Fi with this?
I would say minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty much minutes exactly. Well, I mean, like uh, not exactly minutes because I was able to get the EA poll. I think that's what it's called, right? And then after that, you can brute force the actual password. I knew the password, so let's say we eliminate that. I put it into a dictionary, and then I just went over it, and then I was able to use Hashcats. Is it Hashcat I used? I can't
Yes.
remember. I think I used Ashcat. No, I think I used John just for fun, because I knew it was not a big one, and I was able to I can't remember exactly, but either way, I was able to find it, make it work, and it was not an issue at all. It was super easy to be able to do that.
There
That
are,
device, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, apologies. There are some custom firmwares available for your Flipper, which you can flash them, and they have some extra additional support or some fun stuff that you can do with.
Yep.
But the firmware that comes preloaded with Flipper Zero does not really take advantage of the hardware that it has.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. If you go with the normal one, which do you have one yourself?
I had one, but actually when I was going to a conference, it was taken at the airport. So
Uh,
I was actually I did a research on car hacking,
yep.
and I believe that's available on YouTube at Besides Calgary, last year's edition.
Oh, nice,
Yes,
nice.
yes. And so I was taking a bunch of equipment at the airport, and then they they took out some because obviously there were big antennas in there, but I wanted to demonstrate it. So then I recorded the demonstration. Told one of my buddies to record the demonstration, and then I just added into the presentation.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah,
remember. But yeah, I
yeah.
think Flipper Zero is banned in Canada, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's now not? Okay.
No, it's not. They wanted to because I bought it recently. I'm talking about like maybe 2 months ago,
Yeah.
maybe three, around there. But I know it's less than a year for sure, and they're talking about it. However, excuse my English, but it's stupid to ban a device like that because there's so many other options out there that are easy enough to be able to do the exact same thing as this. It's just this one took the market over, so the market share went up, and then people start being I'm going to say that scared about it, right? Especially the lawmakers, without understanding exactly what the technology is. They just heard
Yeah.
of it and they thought it needs to be banned. But I mean, like, I can show you other devices, and I think there is a question for you in the chat as well, Arsh. So, do you find piano playing?
Did not get the question actually.
That's good. So yeah, so I got my Hack 5
Yes.
bag here, right? And we can take a look. So one of the main things why they wanted to ban the Flipper Zero, it was because of car hacking, and not this device. That's a Pineapple.
Yes.
Talking about this one here, this guy, right?
Hack RF, yes, that's one of the devices I was about to mention that this should get banned first. If you are really want to ban. And now actually I got the question. No, this is just a
I was laughing.
virtual background, so I don't know whether the piano can be played or not, but I sure can play it.
Yeah. No, he's very good at it. I mean, he used ChatGPT or AI to make it play for him. See?
Yes.
That's how it works now. So yeah, so that's the device over here that we're covering. So there is basically like those plates for the antennas that you can put there, and you can go through so many different frequencies. So yes, a device like this, it should technically be banned first. But I mean, like, if you start banning something like this, you're going to have to start banning a bunch of stuff. Okay, so that's the one thing. Then the second thing that you have to think about is, are you able to make it your own, right? Something like this is not hard to be able to make. If a hacker really wants to make something, it will do it. So now what you're trying to do is you're trying to avoid good people to be able to do testing on their own network and testing if there is any issues and so on. And you're just reducing basically the overall security of each organizations here in Canada. So if you're banning them, I mean, you're just doing a disservice to basically your whole country, unfortunately. I don't know if you think the same.
No, I don't think there's, even if you ban something, it's always you can go out and buy it from another country. So that does not make any sense. And it's like reverse marketing. If you ban something, now a lot of people in Canada know about Flipper Zero. Then eventually the pool of people who actually know what Flipper Zero is, just because the government were deciding whether to ban it or not. So that's the thing. And yes, you can easily make your own hacker tools and devices. Eventually, there's just a chip with some advanced or basic things integrated together. So if you have that knowledge, then you can buy out the PCs and make it together. That's always an option, and that's what I like to do before, because at that point, like, we started around 10, 12 years ago, so you don't have access to everything. So we are from a generation where we try to build our own things rather than to go on Amazon to buy it, because those devices did not exist at that point, right? When you mention about the PlayStation, I remember that we used the PlayStation 3, installed Linux on it, and then that was very powerful computational for cracking passwords rather than to actually get.
That's interesting.
Yeah, yes. A lot of people try to modify the PlayStation because PlayStation was released in 2007 or 8 at
Which
the
one?
time of
PlayStation 3?
3, and PlayStation 3 was like 80 times powerful or 50 times powerful than the PlayStation 2 variant. And at that time, it was difficult to get to build a rig like you can do today. It's easy to build a rig and crack passwords if you want to, because everything is available. But at that time, it was not that much easy. At that time, the default computers were 32-bit. So, so just for the audience to understand which era I'm talking about. So then PlayStation 3 was really powerful. Some researchers at NASA also did something modification with it to perform their computations, because it was that much powerful, just to play the games and render high quality graphics. But yeah, that was a breakthrough. So
Yeah, the if I can recall, PlayStation 3, yes, I do agree with you, is very powerful, but not very well understood by game
yes,
developers, and that was an issue there, I think, unfortunately, because it could have been like so much more, like so much better. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We have to deal with it, but at the end, we're still in good hands right now. Sorry, I'm saying good hands, but at the end, that's another question, right? I mean, like, there's so much hacking that's happening with those things. Are you seeing a vibe of hardware like Xbox and PlayStation 5 or 6 coming up, not being hardware that much anymore and be reliant a little bit more on the cloud?
I don't think we are in that era, like running games like uh, if if you look at the GTA games or any of those games which is high graphics, I believe that's something for the future, like 4 or 5 years from now. That's kind of a question to be answered in
Yeah.
future, but when it
So,
comes to security of these devices, that's what I am much
yeah.
interested in. Yes.
Well, yeah, for
So
sure. For sure. For sure. I was just wondering because obviously, like, we see PlayStation 3 being a good device that has been used in the past. We've seen other devices. Recently, I've seen this. Is it the Steam OS or Stream Deck? There we go. I think Stream
yes.
Deck was used during B-side Ottawa, November 21st and 22nd that we just passed. And I can't remember exactly his name, John. I think his name is John, and he was just like using it to be able to do all the challenges. Pretty much, I was like, wow, that's quite insane to be able to just get through those machines and use them as portable computers from now on.
Yes, no, the capabilities have improved over the years of these devices, and I have noticed something that, for example, if you go out with a Raspberry Pi in your hand, people will notice.
Mm.
But if you go out with a PlayStation or if you deploy a PlayStation somewhere, people really don't care that.
Yes,
Uh,
very
so,
true. Very
so,
true.
but if they see like a Raspberry Pi or the pineapple thing that you show, or even this after it got infamously famous. So, but all those devices, so there people really don't care. And in corporate environment,
Yeah,
there are a lot
yeah,
of companies they have their PlayStations in the lounge room just for
mm,
people to relax. So you can just easily replace those
yeah,
with your modified or custom hardware. But yeah, security of those.
yeah. Security of keep going. That's the question I want to cover in a second.
Okay, yeah. No, when you see the security or the jailbreaks being released for these devices, they are not for the latest versions. They are for like a version's year back. So
Hmm.
you have to maintain yourself to that version because you cannot. It's not. We don't live in that era where we can downgrade our move iOS or PlayStation or any of those IoT devices back to the person. So you have to wait for that. And that's why for the researchers, it's difficult to get those devices to research on it or someone who wants to just replicate it. For example, if I want to jailbreak something today, I have to gotta get the exact device and the exact build number or within those range to perform the exact exploit that was discovered. And for the person who is researching, like a 0 day or something, has to acquire at least one device for each major release to find out exploits and vulnerabilities.
Yeah, yeah. So there is a question here by Jake, which says, "Does programming these devices require assembly language, or can it be done in any language?" I would say it depends. Depends. I don't think you need assembly language. Obviously, this is great if you know about what it is because it's a low code, obviously, right? So you understand, like, you can disassemble it and understand exactly what it does from A to Z. I've seen or heard I think it was during Darknet Diaries, a lady that was working for Google that was looking for malwares and stuff like that installed on phones, right? Androids. And she was saying that that's the reason why she was brought on to the specific team there because she knew assembly, right? So any codes could be dumbed down to assembly. At the end of the day, to be able to take over some machines, it depends. If you know how it works, you can use Python, you can use C, you can compile them afterwards. Again, it all depends on what you want to do. I've seen Python being used more because it's a little bit easier. It's more of a high level programming language, much easier than a C, I would say, to handle. And because the thing is, if you compile it onto your machine, it may not work on the other machine on the other end. Compared to what Python, if Python is there in general, it should work unless you need specific modules, right? But yeah, that's what it is. So, what are your thoughts on that, Harsh?
I would say considering this, we are focused on security. Assembly language is good to have in arsenal because that opens a lot of doors, irrespective of which hacking you want to pursue, whether it is
Hmm.
binary exploitation, IoT, hardware, etc. Bunch of those.
Yeah.
I would not assume that everyone would be writing in assembly language to develop something because that's very, very difficult uh, to do at that level. So obviously, these devices would have their own operating system, their own languages that you can learn. Learning a language is very easy. I I think that's the new generation have a lot of options, so that they got confused. When I started, it was pretty much C, like the most advanced or the most language that you know. And today you need to know either C or, but there's just only one language, C, if you want to really work on hardware hacking or any of those, or if you want
Mhm.
to pawn something like PWN, like pawning of any of the devices. So I would recommend you starting with C language. And then obviously you can use Python, Rust, Go, Ruby, Perl. There are lots of other options to write your scripting or exploitation. I personally use Python because in my era when I was learning, Python got a lot of reputation of being an exploiting language or a scripting language.
And
So,
simplicity.
and simplicity, perfect, yes, and simplicity. And then everyone use it. For someone who is very good at reverse shells and stuff, they also prefer Ruby because then with Ruby you get a direct integration with Metasploit framework because Metasploit is written in Ruby. So I have seen some researchers, but now we also live in an era that you write in anything and then you can just run it in in Metasploit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Uh, that's kind of things. But yes, these IoT or hardware devices, they have a little bit of limitation on programming and other things. So based on those particular devices, you should research.
Yeah. So the other thing too, again, it all depends. If we keep circling back into hardware hacking or IoT hacking, what I showed you earlier was basically like a .bin, right? Which has an actual software or like an OS operating system in it, like within this, that's being loaded onto that chip, right? So if you want to be able to hack it, all you need to do is extract that information, make your own binary. So whenever it loads, it's going to do exactly what I said binary. It's not exactly binary 100%, but you make it your own. You do whatever you want. You load stuff in the back end, you reflash that router, and then bang, good to go. Every time that router loads up, it will load this until it gets updated, right? Obviously. But how many people like we got maybe 15 people right now watching on different platforms in this case, right? How many of you are just keeping a look at your router every month at least to make sure that you can update your router, right? Probably none. How many of you have right now a camera that you actually take a look and make sure that it's fully updated? Unless you have a company that's very security oriented, it's going to be hard at the end of the day. So if somebody like an APT, advanced persistent threat, right? Like we can call it because here we're in Canada, we could say like any of those countries on the other side of the pond. Saying any other countries, I just don't want to be specific here, right? That's the side that wants to attack you because you have you're a high value target. Not necessarily that you are the higher value target, but you may hold information that can get them to be to go exactly where they want. Well, at the end of the day, they could just try to flash your stuff, get everything done, and then you will never know because you will never update your devices, right? There is what's it called? Again, Darknet Diaries. I love that show. Just by like, if you guys don't know about it, there's also another example of the NSA at one point, like somebody was talking about it. The NSA hacking. I think it was a country down in South America. And basically speaking, they were able to take over. And as they implanted their payload in there, they screwed up some of the stuff, like the server did not work properly, and that was because of their payloads. So they had to figure it out a way to be able to fix that machine themselves, to be able to get access to it and then maintain it, kind of deal, right? So the machine works again, and then they don't decide to take it down and update it. So there's stuff like that actually happens as going through. For you, if you don't pay enough attention, you won't see it. So what are the ways to be able to find this out? Again, Arsh mentioned it earlier. Take a look at your logs. If you're not able to maintain a seam, obviously it's very costly in certain cases. Other cases, you can think about Splunk having 500 megs per day might be not enough, but in that use case. But you have other platforms like Elastic you could go with, right? The Elastic security. You can install Logstash, FileBeat, whatever. Start harvesting all that information and put it in there. By the way, this is a course that Malvik Security is working on eventually. So I don't have any ETA, any dates that is going to be completed, but that's a course eventually we want to finish up and give you guys, like, give anybody that has the interest in being able to learn how to be able to do it and do your own lab. That's going to be a way to be able to do that, and also increases your home security as well. So unless you do that, it's going to be hard to be able to go through the whole thing. It's going to be hard to detect this, to get alerts, to get anything, unless you put thousands of dollars into investment to be able to get the proper device that will figure this out. But do you have that money? That's for you to tell me, right? So that's what it is. That's what it is. Do we have?
I would just like to add one thing on the question. So if you want to modify any binary, then obviously you would do that in an assembly language, because you would not get source code of that binary. There are ways to generate source code, but that's not always accurate. So the best way here is to do it in the assembly language, and then you can flash it. So that's just one part that I missed while mentioning this. That the binaries, firmwares, or anything that you would get is in a 1-0 or non-readable human format.
Yeah, yeah. There's another question by Jake. Thank you, Jake, for participating. Like anybody that's here, just feel free to take part of the conversation. We're going to keep hovering around the hardware hacking. Make sure that you join our Discord server. I posted it a little bit earlier. Maybe I'm going to post it again, just if anybody wants to join the server. Obviously, you're more than welcome. If you're on X, unfortunately, you're not going to see it. You need to go on YouTube, on the Hack the Box Ottawa Meetup YouTube page, or the Malvik Security YouTube page, along with Twitch, right? Twitch Cyber Malvik. Maybe I should have put them into the video description of YouTube. So I'll do that next time. Normally it's done. This one I did it super fast. Good. So here, Jake, your question is, why is Sony always targeted? Is it because hackers love games? You want to take it?
I don't think that would be the reason, but when you look at Sony is involved in a lot of different diaspora. Sony makes movies, Sony makes games, Sony has a lot of other things to do. So the moment when you are, and then some hackers or some groups also want reputation. So they always target big companies like Sony or etc. Because then they are in the news, they get that reputation that, hey, this was a gang or this was a cyber group that were able to break. And then obviously, if you release anything that you get compromised from a company like Sony, whether it is employee information or the source code of the games or source code of the operating system, PlayStation or jailbreaks or anything, then that's always a high dollar value thing than to just bust off. And then whenever someone is targeting it, people would focus on how big the organization is, because then they would have lots and lots to target rather than focusing on a small company which has only a bunch of websites. And then, so at the end of the day, it's all monetary thing for the person who is doing it illegal.
Yeah, there's probably this. I think that's a big part of it. I think there's also probably people being pissed at the games they're playing at, or maybe the network is not as stable as it'd like to, and They felt that, let's say they were playing Call of Duty and then they did press on the button to be able to shoot, and then they got killed instead, and then now they're pissed and they want to, they want retribution. So there's potentially part of that too as well. I mean, like probably not as much as what Harsh just described, because obviously it's most likely monetary value there. The other thing too that we can keep in mind is, you know, the video with James Franco and Seth Rogen. You remember that? They went to see the Note. Well, it's a movie, right? So just take that with a grain of salt if somebody from over there listen. But it's basically they went to they made a video or film or movie to assassinate, like a way to work for the CIA to assassinate the North Korean leader, right? I'm not going to say his name.
Oh.
So yeah, you remember that? And they actually explicitly say you will not release that movie. And actually, they did release that movie, not into theaters, but on Netflix. And then at that point, that's when they decide to do that. There's terabytes of data, I think, that was extracted out of the Sony database. And again, like it's a big company, they should have the security mindset right up front. So obviously, most of the stuff that we describe when we talk about Sony being attacked is more like a DDoS type deal, right? That's, I would say that's probably one of the main things to try to take down all the systems, the availability of the games and so on. In the other case, it was that they were able to get a foot in, they were able to find information, they extracted it, and Sony never found that out, right? So how can you find extractions of a lot of data for such a high amount of time? So I know, Archie, we're talking about VPN. I think you were talking about VPN earlier, or was I talking about this with someone else?
VPN in terms of anonymity?
Oh no, I was talking with that's my no, sorry, I was 11 a.m. I had another meeting with someone else, and we talk about VPN and those type of stuff. So basically, if you get compromised and somebody kind of creates his own VPN, how can you understand that he is who he's supposed to be, right? Is that the right person?
Oh.
So it can be hard a little bit to find this out. So somebody puts themselves a way to be able to get in through a VPN. Are you able to take a look at, oh, this IP is not in a whitelist. So can you can you check? It's been there for more than 24 hours, right? So I mean, so 24 hours could be something else. But at the end of the day, this is something that would trigger an alert to say, look, there is somebody with a VPN with an IP that's not whitelisted. So alert, figure it out, and then maybe that's a bad guy. So that's what I was talking about with the guy, because what we want to do is basically do crisis simulations with incident response and CISOs and CIOs, and we want to be able to push that as exercises. And we kind of talked about this being a potential really good training to push up front. So, just good.
A lot of companies have mandates like such, but in the ground reality, not everyone follows everything. So
Yeah.
obviously there are ways to figure out a compromise, whether the VPN was used from a different country based on the geolocation, etc., etc. But then at the end of the day, people really are not looking into it like as a daily practice or a weekly or a monthly practice, and that's when everything slowly falls apart for an organization.
Yeah, true. And one of those things there, I wanted to say something. Sorry, my language. I forgot what I wanted to say. I thought about something else and then I came back. But either way. So can you just resume again what you were saying so it might come back?
You know, I was saying that there are, in most of the companies, they have mandates like, okay,
Yep.
the incident response plan, but
Yeah.
then are they actually following the plan on a monthly, weekly, or quarterly? That's what the question is.
Are they testing it?
Yeah.
Which is
it
a lot of times that it's not being tested first, and second, if they don't test it, they don't do any of that. When that happens, they have no idea that it exists. So, and then they realize at the end, where throughout the lesson learned, they're like, "Oh, we had a plan. Like we should have done that, and that, and we forgot about it." So, yeah. The one thing I wanted to say was about Linus Tech Tips. I don't know if you heard about the hack,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Which
I
was
know.
one of his employee click on a PDF, the PDF open, stole the session cookie for YouTube, and then they were able to take it. They logged in from a different country initially, and then after that, they used a VPN from Canada to make it look like a little bit more believable. So that's another thing too to keep in mind. People might use something else to be able to get there. Yeah. So by the way, I heard that people living in China can't bypass even if they use a VPN. That's a good question. I don't know about that. That's
No,
fun.
I think it's not China, it's North Korea, where they cannot use VPN to change their location. Because in North Korea, internet is very restricted. So like you only have 20 websites that you can visit, no Facebook, no Google, no Instagram, nothing. And those all 20 sites are owned by the government. And
Yeah.
then people try to use VPN or some advanced form of anonymity, but they are not able to, because what the country has done is that they are directly tapping into the mainframe. Like, have you heard of those underwater sea cable pipes that come and provide you internet to every country? Like in Canada, there are 4 provinces which get those pipes. And then United States, there are 8 provinces which has those pipes. But basically, like the entire uh, Earth is connected via undersea cable. I forgot the name, but if you Google it, then you can see the entire map and where the cables are going. And basically, you that's how you get the internet. So internet is a large wired connection all over the Earth, practically. And yes, so I believe this is my assumption because uh, the point where everything is coming into the country, they have blocked out everything, and then they created their own local area network. I would not say local area network, I would say a wide area network for the country. And that's how they are hosting only 12, 15 uh, sites which are owned by government, etc., etc. So the internet is heavily restricted.
Yeah. Yeah. It's possible. I'm not too sure about all of this, especially on the North Korea or China comments here. I'm not too sure. So I'd like to tell you, but I don't know. A very good question there, though. That's something maybe I'd be interested in take a look at. But from the past, what I've seen is there's always a way to be able to go around that and not being seen regardless, right? So, and try to reroute all your information. I've seen as well, or not seen, but I've heard from people that defected from other countries and come here. And well, I'm not saying here in Canada, could be US, could be another country in Europe or something like that, saying that they basically they were basically hacking through networks, being able to get persistence there while using others, like other payloads. Like if they hack into a machine and then they find an actual payload, and then they like, oh yeah, that one there seems to be coming from a different country, they're going to copy it and then try to reuse it. So that's something in there that could be very interesting. So oh, so you were sharing this with me, the link. Maybe I should share it on Discord. That's what you were talking about?
Yeah, this is submarine sea cable map. So that actually shows from where internet is going,
Yeah.
where from each country to country, and then that's how everyone is connected.
Yeah, sounds good. I just shared it right now, so people can actually see it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I've seen this in the past, and if we hear at one point that something did cut a cable, and then everybody start going crazy, I mean that's one of those things that can be cut, and I don't think it'd be
The beauty of this is like it was designed in such a way that even if someone, because there was an incident where pirates cut down a cable in some place, so the latency for that country increased, but it was not that the the country did not have internet. But
yeah,
because then it's a circle, right? So if you're not
yeah,
getting from this side, you're getting it from
yeah,
the
yeah.
other side.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they're going to be able to get through the other side, but internet's going to be delayed, and then the
yeah,
pipe's going to be a little bit more congested because obviously
yeah,
all the traffic that was going through one cable might go through the other one, so it might get an issue. Again, other countries rely heavily on those cables, depending on which one it is, right? But they rely heavily on those cables because that's the only communication they have. Otherwise, they need to use satellite. So if they use satellite, that's an issue.
That's why this thing for the future, I would say, because right now not everyone can sustain the technology or afford the technology.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So Starlink
Star
is
Starlink, yes, yes.
Starlink is getting a good communication device for this. But now what I'm wondering, and that's another piece, we're going back again to hardware. Is that another point of entry? Is there researchers doing actual research on that device, on the Starlink's device, and making sure that's as secure as possible? And then the communication that happened between our device to like, is the end encryption done? Do we need to use a VPN just in case that, I'm going to say Elon Musk, but let's say the company Starlink decide to intercept our communications to be able to use it for their benefits? We know that Facebook was doing something like that with Cambridge Analytica, right? So
Yes.
is there more than
Even
that? Even WhatsApp, I believe, at one point.
yeah, no, Edward, Cambridge Analytica is a different thing, but
Yes, it's a little bit different,
Ed,
but just to say that the data that's being accumulated with Facebook was sold to, or at least being used by Cambridge Analytica to be able to do their own stuff. Obviously, it's a little bit different, but it's just to say that, are we safe with the device that we're using right now with Starlink, right? Because we know we trust a company to do their due diligence, and sometimes we trust them blindly.
exactly, yes, that's the thing. What happens is the security and the performance don't run in the same direction. So if you want better performance, better speeds, then if you're encrypting everything, then the speeds might go down, considering whatever you're sending is first encrypted and then being sent. So
Yeah,
that's can be one factor. And in our industry, I've seen that sometimes security is compromised or sometimes performance is compromised just to get the other one, and vice versa.
yeah,
So that's one more thing. Coming back to the Cambridge Analytica and all the things, there is a good movie on Netflix, The Great Hack, I believe is named, but it shows everything that happened with Cambridge Analytica and
mm,
how, and it was released in 2015, 16, before the all AI crazy stuff that we are living in right now. So, but that's a good source of how social media can be used in a negative way and can be used for influence if you have the right money, power, and resources.
yeah, very true. So if we take a look over here, I mean, like internet, we're talking about the cable. So internet could go through any of those
Yes.
countries all around the place, right? So it's hard to tell. But do we
Yes.
have a country here that's like, it looks like it's reliant on cable? I mean, like those ones probably. Am I able to zoom? That's probably part of US. Those ones are probably very relying on this. It's probably not a big a big part of the population though. Hawaii, oh, they're getting cables as well.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
Hawaii? How do you call that? French? Oh, Polygia, something like that. Where's
might
the?
be a military base or something.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that like around this area, I can remember exactly where there was a military base where they were testing nuclear weapons in the past. But I don't see. Well, I mean, like they have names on them. I don't know where. Where is? Oh, I'm more in the south. Okay, that's where I should have been. I was too down south. That's Hawaii over here probably. So there's lots of cable going there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, one cable cut should be not the end of the world, but you never know.
Yes.
Because let's say this cable here gets caught. If something needs to go to Australia instead of going straight, it needs to potentially go through. I mean, like the fastest path, but it may have to go through over here, go down, or maybe go through here up top, and then go back down again to Australia. Right. So that's the issue I was referring to for that. But it's not a
And
country, should be fine.
and those countries that are not on this practically that are not on located on the seaside,
Hmm.
they would share it with the neighboring country that's on the seaside. So, for example, here Sudan might be sharing it with Egypt. Oh no, hold on. Chad might be sharing it with Egypt or Sudan because I can see one dot. This is the canal, right? The trade canal. practically.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, yeah. So, but basically, if someone who is not on the coast, uh, on the centrally, then they would share it with the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you cannot, yeah. So there are some laws regarding that, that if, because when these cables were set up, it was like an all over world initiative. It's not that someone can opt in or not. It was like, okay, a connectivity for the entire planet. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is interesting.
Mhm.
There's lots of stuff that we are sometimes just don't know about it. Look at this cable. It just went through the whole north
Yeah.
from
And
Alaska
these,
to.
yeah, these cables are great in quality, because if you see this, this is like the most coldest region here, about Canada, Greenland, and that part. And if you go on to the Asian side, then it's like the most hottest weather. And obviously, these cables are under the sea, ocean, everything. There's a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, yeah. Am I able to get this to move away? I guess not. Huh?
Yeah, that's a struggle. That's a thing that I also struggle with.
Yeah, you can
But
see this, but I was hoping I could just move them a little bit. But I guess
no.
in paying for it, that might be the only way to get rid of that. So that's why, like, good, good. So that's interesting. Yeah. So is there like chat? Just feel free to send your question in. We're going to answer them as much as we can. We're also going to keep in mind the fact that this stream is mainly for the hardware hacking. So if you have any questions regarding this or IoT hackings, that's the main question. There is something as well that I just find out that what's his name, Brown, where it's Matt Brown. There we go. Matt Brown basically put it in a blog post. I can probably put it in the chat here if you want to get access to it, or at least see how it looks like. I would say that's probably like a really good beginner topic to take a look at. So here it's talking about Tenda, which is like a $23 Wi-Fi router you can buy. Obviously, if you can find one that's going to be directly in the e-waste, that could be a very good way to take a look at it. It's talking about the basic toolkit for iFixit. Yes, obviously it's interesting, it's good, but I'm quite sure you could go to your store and like how I know there's a little bit of screws in there, so I'm not gonna flip it too much. But right now I have a kit I did bought for what, $25? Not even. I think it was like even $15. I bought it at Kintyre and it was great. I bought it in special, and then now I have access to all those tools, almost like what you see over here. In any case, obviously you can use other stuff to be able to use for prying tools. Tweezer, I mean, just be careful, because obviously you can use the one that you have for your hair that you need to pull out or whatever that you use. You use your parents' one, make sure they know about it, because otherwise they might get a little bit bad. And then if you use them afterwards, make sure you clean them, because obviously this is something you need to be careful about. You have also a digital multimeter that you can buy. This one might be on the cheap side, but still working fine. Oh, he has it. So this is the one at one point he was discussing, that he bought it like many years ago and he's still using it. So you don't need something super fancy to make it work, right? There's a couple things you need, and it's like the voltage. And also you need to know if you're going to get a sound once you get like a good connection between two different parts. So you can know if it's shorted, or you know if it's the location you're looking for the pins, for example, right? This is the cable I was talking about here, and that's the one you buy for 3.3 volts. There's other voltage that you would need to buy if your voltage is going to be, let's say, 2.5 or 1.8 in any case, but 3.3 is the most common one, plus cables to be able to plug them in and then solder them on to the other part of the board. Here is talking about a soldering iron. This is a portable one, so obviously if you want to use it to be able to go around, perfect. Might not be strong enough if your house is cold or you're doing it outside or whatever, but that could be a good one. I already have one, so I'm not going to buy one. And then wire stripper. So yeah, so that's basically what we're taking a look at. And over the course of the few weeks, we are going to keep learning about it. And as I was mentioning at the beginning of the chat, or the what's called the stream, I got a Wi-Fi router I took apart, and then now I have the board. I'm going to be able to go through this. I have also another router, which is a D-Link, super old, probably 15 years old. And I also have another one, which is this one is a Cisco router that we're going to be able to go through. And I believe the chip, can I see it again? I'm not sure if that's the one, but I think the chip I'm looking for, at least the chip we're looking for with the firmware on, is right there. So either way, this is the big thing that we want to do. And since I don't know a whole lot about hacking, other than, well, sorry, not hacking specifically, but hardware hacking, that's a perfect way to be able to just introduce you to this at the same time as we're moving along. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with this, and I think I can go easily with something very cheap. The only thing I want to buy, I would say, it's probably this device over here. That's like probably like $120 Canadian, right? So I think my budget for this one's probably gonna be, and this cable here is, it's not this one. There's another one here in Canada, $22. So I think I can go easily, probably around like $150 to $200 max as my budget, and trying to not go above to start initiating this, right? Because everything else, I'm quite sure we can just grab them on from toolbox that we have somewhere lying around, or ask our parents, like your parents, if they have tools for you or something like that, or they can spare something to help you out achieving this. The devices, go to the e-waste. You don't need necessarily to buy actual device to hack it. Obviously, if you want the one that's a proof that we are going to see from some of the videos over here, that could be very interesting. That's another one we can take a look at. So yeah, so it's just to give you a rundown for the ones that are joining in right now. You can still join our Discord server, where we are going to share all our findings there. And if I get a hold of one of those firmware, I'm going to make sure to put it out there onto Discord to share with everyone, so we can keep going forward. One thing that I can tell you is I have not used them for a long time, so I'm assuming that the password's in there. Well, I mean, I should probably reset them before I release them, so you guys don't see the password or previous passwords I've used, because I don't remember which one are there. But obviously, that's something that could be very interesting to navigate through. So, all right. There was a question here by Jake. If we go back, I saw a scene in CSI Cyber. Someone hacked into a CIA cable. A CIA cable. So what do you mean by CIA cable?
The LAN? I assume it's the LAN.
The LAN? Have you watched the series CSI Cyber? No, I have not watched it myself. So is there like a specific scene? Maybe I can check out directly on YouTube right now and see if YouTube, I need to learn to type. Okay, that's not what I wanted, but CSI Cyber and CIA
hacking.
Yeah, hacking. Screen code. I don't think they understand that typing two different things at the same time works. Well, I mean, like they like to make it sound like it's super great. I'm gonna try to make it good, perfect. Can I get this to disappear for a second? No, that's not what I want. I guess, yeah, I guess I'm just going to deactivate this. Can I option? No, not option. Where's it at? Manage extensions, and then turn this off. Okay. And then refresh. Good. Okay, so we don't see this at all. Yeah, is there like an actual episode that you're referring to? Maybe it might be old. Oh, how this 16 years old hacked the CIA. Okay, that's a year ago. I've heard so many different things, even the FBI being hacked by something that was super easy to go through. No, I don't see the most accurate hacking scene ever. Breach firewall.
That's what I was also looking, but it does not seem that accurate.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to tell. Most of the time when they show things like this, there we go. That's exactly what they show. It looks like super complex, but it is complex. But it's just a way to mystify people about it.
It's super complex in terms of editing the video,
Yeah.
just to create those scenes and the all la 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 land thing that just pops up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Fast and Furious 10 or 9 where they hack the Pentagon in 2 minutes?
No, I don't remember that. Can imagine
Yeah,
it would have been funny to watch, especially
yeah,
when you know a little bit how it works, right?
yeah.
Uh,
That was funny to watch. This girl just hacked Pentagon in like 2 minutes, and like maybe we should retire because we are old and we cannot do that. But
yeah, probably that's the case. All
yeah,
right, let's take a look here. It says, Jake, a fiber cable was hacked by someone, and all information that entered the intelligence services is passed to him first. Oh, that's
yeah,
meta attack. I mean, like if you are able to hack probably an ISP, you could potentially do that. So if you know which company that handles, for example, the CIA or the equivalency here, CSIS or CSE or the equivalency of the United States NSA or whatever in the UK and other countries, you could potentially take over. So one of those big examples you can think about is all the phones, all the telecommunication system that has been hacked by Chinese. At least that's what we've been hearing lately in the U.S. Right. So if telecoms is being hacked or somebody take over, it is a big possibility that all our communications and whatever goes through that could be intercepted. It is a big possibility.
also you really need like computational wise a bigger device. You just can't plug it into your computer. It won't handle that many requests that comes every minute or every second. So when you are trying to tap into the server like that, who handles a lot of request and response, and there's also encryption, which if you then compromise the server, then you can disable that kind of encryption. But yeah, there's a lot of effort that requires. You just I believe in the episode it might be shown like okay, you plugged into the mainframe and then you got access to all the data, but there's a lot of layers beneath that involves encryption breaking up special supercomputers that can handle that many requests. Like our Ethernet cables are what 1 gigabit per second, 3 gigabit per second at most. At a uh, at at a personal level, but at an enterprise level, you can go up to 10 terabit per second in at some places. So that you need require special equipment or special hardware to handle those things. Otherwise, you don't. The biggest example for that is you have a gigabit connection, then if you do the speed test, then on your phone you only get 600 or 700, but on your laptop with the wire connected, you can see it to 1 gigabit per second. Why? Because the Wi-Fi or the phone that you are using via Wi-Fi has a maximum speed limit of 600. So anything after that is just dropped. It's beyond its capabilities. But with the wired connection, you are able to look and see that, hey, I got a gigabit speed, which is correct because I have a gigabit line. So that's how the difference is. When you're tapping into a server with that many requests, you require a specialized hardware and not just a MacBook.
Yeah. So thank you for the recommendation, Jake. We'll for sure check it out. I don't know if I have it into one of my streaming platform. I don't know why. Are you from Canada, Jake? Where are you from? I'm interested to know. And while Jake answered this, there's something that I don't know, Harsh, if you've played with that before or have you heard of it? Have you heard of Ponagachi?
I've heard about it, but
No. There's a little project I want to work on, and that's potentially another thing that I want to put on on YouTube as a side project on how to be able to do it. Obviously live, and potentially like something that's going to be also just a video with all the steps I've done. Or you can just like check online and find those videos as well too from other creators. So right now I have a Raspberry Pi Zero. There we go. Is it going to focus? Yeah. So Raspberry Pi, oh, is it W? How do you call that? Pi 02. Yeah, so the Raspberry Pi 02, that's exactly what, I don't know if you're going to see it. It's just like below my finger right there. So there's that's required. And then also there is kind of a e-reader as well. That's there. And then that's basically a screen. It goes along. I mean, like you could also get a, there is, okay, so it's still wrapped. It's in there. There's like a little clock, NTP or something like that to be able to keep the time in there. And then you can also get what's called a Pi Sugar, like a battery, or you could get something else. Like it doesn't mean that you need that. You could also get your portable, what's it called? Your portable battery backup, basically for your phone, right? And plug it in, and the chances are it's going to work. At the end of the day, what you do is once you set up everything all together, it's super small, right? So you see it's like very, very small, all stacked together, plus a little bit more. You can also get a little case that's not exactly made for that, but you can 3D print it, right? And then put everything all together. Then you set it up and forget it for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 hours. And what's going to be happening is the people that are going through, or the Wi-Fi that are around the area or something like that, they are going to be intercepted by this and accumulated and put into, let's say, a little chip, right? That you are going to be able to put in your Pi Zero that's there. And all you need to do is you just bring it home and then you start like tracking it. So that's something that's very interesting on this piece that I thought it would be like an interesting little side project with potentially a little bit of programming and stuff like that. Good learning thing.
Sure, let me know when you are doing it. I've done not like the exact thing like what you mentioned, but I've done a lot of side projects from the red teaming perspective that helps us in our engagements or in my engagements that I perform for different companies.
Nice.
So always happy to fill in and help you out.
Yeah, I'm because the thing is, like, a lot of people is going to be wondering why I'm entertaining those projects. Well, first, I think it's interesting, right? It's engaging, it's fun. You get to build something. It's a win basically for you mentally, and as you're moving forward with this, it's great. So you build these things up, and you're able to test your environment around you and your networks, your own stuff that you have. And that's how I mean, like I kind of already knew, but that's how I was able to find that my iRobot was a pivotal point within my organization, not my organization, but my house, right? So now what I have is all my IoTs are onto a every time they connect onto the Wi-Fi, they are client isolation. Like there's a client isolation per device, right? First, and then they're on a separate VLAN as well too. So just to make sure everything is separated. So that AP will pick it up onto a specific SSID, will isolate them. Then, and it's a different password as well. So the decryption is going to be completely different. Then once they are all separated, they're also all separated onto a different VLAN. But obviously, are you going to be able to do that with a normal router that you have at home? No. So that's something that
require at least one switch that would do the segregation, or perhaps the modern router that performs all that kind of settings. But routers are difficult to configure because they're routers, and switches are easy to configure because they're switch.
Yeah, the what's called the consumers routers are I would say they're not really meant for that, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, consumer routers. But if you're able to find a entry grade, I think that Ubiquiti, they have a grade that's good enough, kind of like entry level, enterprise level that you could potentially get inside your house. But at the end, how much is it going to cost you? That's another like probably like $1,500, $1,000 or so to be able to get, and that's Canadian dollars I'm talking about, right? So maybe a little bit less on the US side for our US friends, but that's interesting. see here. Oh, so Jake, you're from Algeria. Well, it's great to have you around. Thank you very much for all your questions and conversations. It's great. And anybody that's listening in, just make sure you also talk with us. Yeah, you can see here Wi-Fi WP2 with GPU. So that's interesting there. There's a question for you, Arsh. Here, do you have any devices that is interesting? That either it's a project or you currently use?
I have a GitHub profile where most of the projects are hosted. I believe it's ends with Harshmodi008, so you can check it out. I do have one or two devices, but not within my vicinity, so that I can show you. I have some Ethernet adapters, a Flipper Zero, which already shown by Captain, and then I used to have a Raspberry Pi as well, but really have to find out those stuff. So
He's talking about me when he say captain.
yeah,
Yeah, because
Captain
people are
means
probably not going to understand. I have a background. I used to be in the Canadian Armed Forces, so in the military. So that's the reason why you
yeah,
call it this way.
that's
I
quite
think I
easy.
have the right one. I'm not sure if that's the right one. It says harsh modi, but I mean, how many harsh modi there is? Let me see. I'm gonna put it on the screen there so you can tell me if that's the right one.
No, not this one. It would
Not this
be
one.
it ends with Harshmodi008.
I
Oh
see. I see.
that's my video.
That's your video. I'd be citing Edmonton 2023.
Yeah.
278.
No. Let me.
Okay, or share or 08. There we go. Arch 08.
No.
Let me keep going through. There we go. Two faces that are familiar.
Yeah, so it's this one, but it looks like I have to make some things public here. So these are some of my presentations as well in here.
Okay, let's me paste it there. There we go. Okay, so Harsh Modi 008 all together, OWASP Vancouver. Slide from my talk. There we go. I'm gonna put it in the chat as well if you guys are interested, so you can go check out our content on GitHub.
Yes, so this besides Edmonton one was the one where the person asked me questions on application security from only from the iOS and Android perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, GitHub. Oh, this one is empty. Vips. You went to Vips last year, isn't it? Or at least at the beginning of 2024?
yeah, I went to VIPS a couple of times. So
Yeah.
that's
So
like a big conference on the West Coast side.
of
We did a panel at VIPS. Probably VIPS one would be empty because it was not a presentation, it was a panel. I think this is my college project, but I'm not sure. I don't remember, it's too old. But this is like a, what do you say? It's like a vulnerable application.
Yep. First day test. Installing it now.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not much.
And then there's the Kubernetes thing that I have.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So there it is. Kubernetes security best practice guide.
Yes. I think this is a fork one. Yeah. I might have to public some of the private repositories, but yeah, that's what I have not updated it. But yeah,
For a little while.
yes.
That's all right. Eventually, you'll be able to. If I just turn this off, where was it? Oh, it was a little bit before. We had also a video from you over there. So you get your, is that your YouTube channel?
No, that's not my YouTube channel. That's the person who interviewed me because he was
Oh,
fascinated by
yeah. Lead the security
fascinated by
architect,
the topic.
Bell. Yeah, Bell, for those who don't know, they're a big telecommunication company, but they also provide security. So they have MSSP, they do pen testing, I think, onto clients' network when it's required, right? Obviously, they have permission to do that, and the proper documentation done prior to the pen test. So I think you were part of the whole thing. Is there anything that you'd like to add on top of this, or you don't want to deep dive or too deep into it, or dive too
No,
deep?
that's
But there you go.
no, that's fine actually. I'm no longer with Bell, so I can
Well, you're no
speak.
longer with Bell, but you still want to be careful too. You still
Yes, yes.
very
No, I
respectful
understand.
about the clients that you work with, and obviously you don't want to
I
compromise them either.
I was on the product security side, not on the consultation side, but I believe they have that as well.
Okay. Yeah, they do. They have MSSPs, like managed security service security service provider. There we go.
Yes.
So yeah, they do have that obviously, and this is something that they make a lot of money out of. They make a lot of money. So I'm not too sure exactly which technology they use right now. I know in the past they used to use ArcSight. ArcSight is so I think a thing of the past. I've used it. I hate it. Now they got bought by OpenText, and I mean, like they could be better. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, but to be honest, I'm not a big fan of them. The ones that people should be interesting in, it's Elasticsearch. Well, this one is the cloud, but if you have your own server, you could actually get an actual one, like an actual like free download, and then get all your stuff installed. Can we see overview over here? Oh, that's the overview. I don't want to see the webinar. Can we see an actual picture? No, we don't. But either way, Elastic is probably the one I would recommend for most people because everything is free. However, you're not going to get much support directly from Elastic if you just don't want to pay, right? But there's a lot of stuff online that you can grab on, and then you can understand exactly how to do that. Again, this is a course that, like I said, we're working on. And then the other one is Splunk. That could be also very interesting for most people. There we go. That's a Cisco company now. They just got bought, I think, a couple months ago. That's insane. For those that are looking around to, I just thought about that. That's another company that got bought recently, VMware. Got bought by Broadcom, right? So I'm not a big fan of Broadcom. So hopefully VMware stays good. However, they did something really good, and I don't think I'm going to be able to show it here. Is if you want to get one of their product, which is VMware, maybe I should just Google it, VMware Workstation Pro. See, it's now available free for personal.
Yeah, VMware also got bought by which company? Broadcom?
Say again?
VMware was also bought recently. Forgot the company name.
VMware, yeah, it was bought by Broadcom, exactly.
Broadcom, yes.
Yeah, that's what it says here. Broadcom, it was bought by them. I'm not too sure how good it will be, how it will turns out, but this is the one thing I wanted to show most people is now it's like since they got bought, now it's free for personal use if you want to get the Workstation Pro, right? So if you want to be able to get the capabilities of running your own networks, running your own stuff left and right, this is a really, really good solution that you can use to be able to do that. Obviously, there's other ones that were free in the past, like VirtualBox.
VirtualBox.
Yeah, VirtualBox is a big one that people were actually using for free, especially if you use it for personal use. And this one here is used for personal. So if you want to, let's say, get a Windows machine, extra one to be able to test some stuff, or if you want to get not a Kali Linux, a Parrot OS, or anything that you'd like, you can build them up. Then after that, you can go from there. Same thing is if you want to try to experiment getting logs from Windows to another Windows machine with a wet collector, right? Well, wet collector, Windows event collector, that doesn't work, but Windows Event Collector at that point, that's going to be another visibility and so on. So there's a way to be able to get it on. So you don't need to pay anymore. So that's another thing too. That's been happening a little while ago. All right. All right. Are all Indian working in technologies? I mean, there's a lot of them, right? So obviously, it's much easier to find them out there. So, so this is good. This is good. Yeah, there's lots of talents there too, right? It's unfortunate. Like, I mean, we hear if I go, let's say, on YouTube and then type in Kid Boga, right? Have you guys heard of him? Have you heard of him, Harsh? Kid Boga?
Kid Boga?
No, never heard of him. This guy, hilarious. But the thing is, he calls and then he makes. He has characters. He has people. He's having fun, to be honest, right? And those videos are basically like reverse scams. So he's scamming scammers. That's what he does.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen some videos like that, but not from him, from
yeah. There's a
other YouTubers like him, like
scammer payback.
scammer payback, and then
Yeah,
um,
and
big
that's
scam.
what it is. I mean, like I'm listening to this guy. Most of the time, we're gonna hear some sort of like an accent that's coming from India, unfortunately. So there is lots of talent over there. Is just not being properly used, unfortunately, and that's what I think it's disappointing in this case. But this guy, if you guys have a chance to be able to listen to him, I was laughing. I mean, a while ago, is it here? I think okay. I'm gonna type in probably here. Call Crow. Yeah, so 1 2 3 like 36-hour call that he does, and what he does, he basically play an old man, and those guys wants to try to scam him, but he says that he has a love for crows, and then he makes a YouTube video, and people from his stream on Twitch, they decide to go on the YouTube channel and then like it and then type it in, and they're like it's just insane. It's good. um Okay, so Arsh, are you not able to? I guess you're not able to since you're an invite person that's invited. Harsh needs to go, folks, and probably I'm going to go for a little bit more, and then eventually we're going to close the sessions. But here's his LinkedIn. If you,
Yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you're hesitant to ask it on the stream. Uh, Happy to help you answer those questions. And this was a fantastic thing. I never did such thing like in a long time. So
I want to do a lot more. So, but the thing is, like, you caught me a little bit off guard. I was not expecting you to join in, so this is great, and that's why I chose this platform to do it. But eventually, I'd like to be able to do other stuff. I have a beast of a machine over here right next to me that I want to be able to get with, let's say, OBS and so on, and have a lot more animation and be able to recognize people when they subscribe and so on. Because the platform I'm on right now does not allow this, unfortunately. So.
yeah,
But this is something I want to do more and more and more. So just stay tuned. I'm going to try to maintain my Discord server as well, which is the Hack the Box at What Meetup. It might get rebranded eventually, so stay tuned for this because
perfect.
I want to bring more than just Hack the Box. Obviously, again, this is not sponsored by Hack the Box. This is not
Yeah,
sponsored by anyone but me and my company, which is basically Maverick Security. And that's something I really want to put up forward. I want to be able to be out there and be able to help the community and get those courses out there. Again, I got my platform that's there. Do you have a platform as well where people can learn, or that's mainly YouTube channel? Or
I am preparing a boot camp for the offensive security side. I was doing it with someone else, but now I want to do it with more ownership. So yeah, thank you. Thanks you bring that. So I have a boot camp which I've taught to more than 200 people now, and it's mostly on web application security, mobile application security, cloud security, DevSecOps, which is application security, all those topics that are much in demand. I'm also working on some artificial intelligence and security because that's what a lot of companies are doing now. So, and these kind of courses, unfortunately, you don't see them when I review curriculum for the university. That's why I have made them for people to learn.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm heavily involved in. And yes, YouTube, Twitch, I stream. I think on YouTube it's Let's Talk Cyber, where you would see some of the CTFs that I have played. And then GitHub, I will try to make a lot of repositories public so that a lot of people can either forge it or contribute to it, or then they can use it for their own learning. So that's not a problem. And then on the YouTube channel or besides Calgary, besides Edmonton, you would see my presentations, which are very helpful for someone who wants to begin in the journey of application security. So
Yeah, so there's lots of there, and then maybe at one point we could have a potential collaboration to bring even more stuff out there. It'd be great to have you to do some of those boxes at one point, those machines and on Hack the Box. So if you're interested, just let me know, and then we can get you in. Next one is going to be on the 30th. So obviously we already scheduled that, but then probably February time frame could be good to bring you in, or maybe any other topics. Those ones are going to be a little more advertised than this one. This one was not really advertised. This one was just
no worries.
going on the fly, and then let's see who wants to join in. And then Jake was good enough. Well, not good enough. It was great to be able to join us and be out there and ask questions and interact with us. So feel free. The other guys, there's another 14 people in like on different platforms right now, and then it'd be great if you guys talk as well too. There's always good stuff that can come out of this. But then eventually, I'd like to be able to do some gaming and see how it goes. That'd be great. That'd be
Then
great.
a lot of people would join, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, like hacking gaming, that could be good.
CTFs.
Yeah. What did you say?
CTFs capture the flag.
I captured the flag, yes, but I'm wondering how well it would do to be able to stream this online. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say you got the CTF on the Hack the Box side that we could do. Hack the Box has CTFs that goes on quite often. There's two that we've done under Mavic Security, and one under Mavic Security, the other one under Hack the Box Ottawa Meetup. And what we've done basically is I've invited everyone from the channel on Discord, and we got a bunch of people. And I think we finished 127th out of like 10,000 teams across like international. And then the best people that were from that group, I brought them to the business CTF, and we finished 37th out of 950 something teams. Right?
That's an achievement, I would say.
We were competing. Well, we were 7 out of 30. Microsoft had 30 people in there, the red team. Google had 30 people in the red team as well that were there, and we were not far away from them. Most of the time, we were either close, surpassing them, but towards the end of the last day, we lost it at that point, and they finished 27th. Let's say Microsoft, for example. So it was great. Really loved it. Really loved it. So trying to improve this, and the only way to be able to improve this is by repetition and doing more. And that's why I think those hardware hacking is just going to bring that to a notch, because there's hardware hacking sometimes in those challenges.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, good.
Anyways, it was nice seeing you all and meeting you all, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming, Harsh. And then,
for having me.
Just stay tuned on Discord and just let me know whenever you want to join in, and we'll facilitate that for sure.
Sure.
Great. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year in advance to everyone who's watching this.
Thank you. You too as well.
Bye-bye, Captain.
Signing out. That's what it is. All right. Good. Perfect. So thank you very much for everyone else that's sticking around. I see here RMB. You're talking about Night 4 team. I think I was actually looking at that game recently. Maybe I should close a couple of tabs over here. Okay, let me close a couple tabs over here, and then after that we can go take a look at what you're talking about. because I'm very interested. I think it could be good to have something else to go in the mix. So let me put my this one here. There you go. You said Night Team 4. So that's a game that you're talking about. That's good. I guess that's on Steam, huh? Founding date 2014. Oh, I guess that's the company probably. That'd be, yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that idea as well, Jake. If we could do it. I mean, like, again, if you want to see those type of stuff, just keep joining, keep coming up to us. Are you on Discord, Jake? If you're not on Discord, please join. So you're going to be able to know exactly when we do that. It's a Canadian developer too. I like that. I like that idea. RMB, are you from, I guess you're from Canada, you're Canadian? Ottawa, probably? I think I've seen you at one point. Allison Smith. Based in Montreal. There you go. Nice. That's not exactly my hometown, but not far away. Trade crafting. That could be good. Let's take a look on Steam. I think Steam Night. What was it again? Night. Okay, you're from the Ottawa area. Yeah, good. I'm most of the time I'm there. Today I'm not, but most of the time I'm from there. So 19.4. Can we get something here? Yeah, that's $20. Wasn't there like there's Uplink too? Is Uplink? Have you tried Uplink? That's 2006. That's getting old a little bit. Released 2019, but still it might be interesting to give it a try. What about this? 19.4 Withering Dusks. Okay. Hacknet 2015. Have you yeah, I guess you've tried them. Is the game. Gray Hack and Untrusted is the other two. Is that Gray Hack over here? No, that's Hacknet. I guess we can check it out. Hacknet is a cheap one. Nice. So I guess they're not that expensive. That could be good to just give it a try. I know, what's his name? Forget about his name. John Hammond. Probably you guys know him. He was playing a game recently. Is it John Hammond? Yes, I think it was John Hammond. He was doing a stream. John Hammond. Game hacking. I don't know. I'll give it a try. That's not exactly intro to game hacking. Let's see. Was he on YouTube? Let's check it out. I know he was playing a game recently, but I don't know if it was on this. Oh no, I think he was maybe more on Twitch. John Hammond. I think he was playing a game. There you go. Okay, there we go. I don't know if you guys heard this. Sorry if you did. So that's the holiday challenge. Science and technology. Let me just. Can I mute this? Mute site. Okay. I don't want this to have too much noise. Holiday hack challenge. Holiday hack challenge. Well, that's it. Is he going to show us what game was he playing on? Because I mean, like the graphics were bad, but I don't think the goal was the graphics. I think the goal. Oh, holiday hack challenge. Is that Sans? Maybe that's Sans. You've met John? at the Ottawa conference? Which conference? I mean, like, I'm interested to know which one he showed up to. I know he was in. He was not in what's called again. Hack the Box. Sorry, the not Hack the Box. B-side Ottawa. I know he was not at B-side Ottawa lately. All the hack challenge. No. Megadan. Okay, so I guess that's the game he was playing on. I did not see exactly what he's done, but this is the graphics of the game, so it looks bad. But I mean, again, the goal is not exactly just this 100%, but more playing the game and understanding exactly what it is. And part of the videos I've seen, he had to go through something a bit more specific, which was maybe not that. Can we see something else? I think he was playing over here, and here I think there's like kind of hardware hacking that was required, but he didn't know what to do on this case. Let's see, that's exactly what it is. Pretty much exactly what I was trying to do today. So he's putting those cables there, but he doesn't understand exactly what's the whole purpose. Now he needs to take those cables and put them there, because there's like the ground, the receive, transmit, and then the voltage right there. That's exactly the type of stuff I was talking about. Oh, okay. So I see you've been in too many RMB, so that's all right. I mean, cannot remember them all. But I've probably seen you if you've gone through the latest B-sides. I was basically the one running the Blue Team Village with Immersive Labs, and also I was at I had a booth with my team and Immersive Labs that was there. So we probably saw each other at one point. Just didn't know. So yeah, that's the one that could be interesting to go through. I mean, because this is brand new. The other one too that we could also go through, but that one was already like, I guess I already done them. It's the Try Hack Me challenge. Security training. You need to log in though. Oh, it's probably over. Did they talk about it somewhere? Yeah, they moved it away somewhere else. So I would need to SOC simulator, triage alert in real time. It's the first time I see this one. Master real world cyber threat with hands-on training on the SOC simulator. I like that. Do I need to log in for that? Next, experience real-time attacks. Okay, that's probably just telling me what's going on. See something very similar to what a SOC would be. Perform forensics and on malicious artifacts. That's Splunk. Investigate event logs in Splunk. I like that. Based on your investigation, document your finding and make suggestion for eradication, containment, and recovery to the IR team. I don't know if that's probably AI that's going to be taking a look at that. Instant feedback. Oh, there. Exactly. That's what I thought. Meeting resolution time. So it tells you exactly like how long it took for you to like from the time probably that the alert was populated, and then for you to realize, take ownership, and then go through the whole investigation. So yeah, the game you were talking about, Jake. Okay, so you're talking about there's a military hacking simulation game that explores the world of cyber warfare and feature realistic mission scenarios. I think my brother gave it a try at one point and he really liked it. And the game he's talking about, I mean, he already said a couple of things about it, RMB. It's this one here. Can we see military hacking simulation game that explores? Oh, I guess there we go. I guess that makes sense. And there's Uplink that's right there. It's an older game. We can play on both Windows and Mac. So it's not too much of an issue. That could be something interesting to give it a try. I mean, it's not that expensive. It's also like 48% off for all 3 games. Night 4. So those 2 nights, night team. I mean, oh, there's 3. Deluxe bundle edition. Maybe that's something we should give it a try. Even if it's a 2018, 2019, must not be that bad. Is that something you guys would be up to at one point? Maybe not today, but another day that could be good to give it a try. Probably more of a a game I could actually schedule for this. How long have you completed it, RMB? Have you done this game? And if yes, how long did it take you? If no, well, I can understand that you don't know the answer. Let's do the holiday hack challenge. Play for free now. Play now. Do we need to? Holiday travelers, welcome to. I've done a few missions, weekend streams. Yep. I'll give you your orientation, snowballs, join Discord, bounce around. If I take a look, okay, so we need to log in. That's probably something I would want to do, not on stream, so I can take a look and go through that. But yeah, we can stream that. It's not that hard, especially if you have some if you're experimented in that area, right? I think that'd probably be a good one to go with. Play that game live in future. I mean, tomorrow or the 29th, I could probably do a stream tomorrow, and we could probably try to get it through. I'm wondering if that's another thing too. I'm wondering, like, you guys don't see, okay, you guys don't see that. Okay, I'm on. That's another thing too. I'd like to be able to experiment at one point, and it's GeForce Now, like streaming GeForce Now, a game, AAA game on my Mac that's going to be streamed online afterwards. Okay. I'll put that into my my notes here. I think you're RMB. Okay, I'll remember that here, so at least I have a name to attach. Gray hack untrusted, and you also said all the nights team 4. And there was another one that you were discussing about a second ago. I'm just going to go back here that you said. Uplink, I think you said it was a good one, right? Is it? I'm going to check in the chat here if I can see your stuff. Other 2. I don't see. Did you talk about Uplink as well? Yeah, they're all on Steam. But did you talk about Uplink as well as part of the good games to play, at least to try? I just want to see if I get these ones just for fun. Do we have Night Team? No, Night Team is not on GeForce Now. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to push Gray Zone. Oh no, it's Gray Hack. Yeah. Uplink is too old. Okay, I understand. Gray Hack. Yeah, Gray, it's Gray Zone Warfare that I see here, which is not part of that. I'm assuming they wouldn't be there, but I'm just wondering. And then the next one is Untrusted. Okay. Because the thing is with this is once you have them directly on GeForce Now, maybe I can change my screen. You guys can see that. Let's go present, share screen, just a window, GeForce Now, and then share. Yeah, because GeForce Now is like a really good place, I think, to be able to start streaming. Like, for example, right? To be honest, the game here, Baldur's Gate, works really well, no issues on Mac, at least mine. It has an M3 Max in there, so it's plenty powerful to be able to do it. However, how much space does it take? It's about like 150 gig, probably 200 gigs of space to be able to do that. I did not upgrade my my hard drive or my NVMe, right? Because obviously it's super expensive. They know how to make money in this end, and this is the reason why I did not upgrade it. So then I was like, okay, screw this. I'm just going to take a look if I have other options. And this one here, you just press play and then you play. You don't even have to do anything else. Everything is saved onto the cloud and then you can play again. The other one here, World of Warcraft. I used to play that. I was just curious. So that's one there that I was just, let's go. Let's give it a try. It's available on Mac as well. But this one here, Call of Duty. Is everyone playing that anymore? I'm not too sure, right? The group of people that I know used to play it are saying that they're not playing it anymore for different reasons. But this is something I was able to play. I just pressed play and then bang, everything was working. I didn't have to install on my Mac, and it worked out right away. Are you able? Yeah, you're not able to see this. Yeah, you don't see that little bar, but that's basically my bar that has. That's a Mac, right? Even like Assassin's Creed, that's another game I'm not able to play. And the last time when I played those games, even like Call of Duty, it works out flawlessly. Obviously, like if you use a mouse like the Razer mouse, not all the buttons are going to work, because obviously this is something that Mac is trying to block from us from being able to use it. But that's something that can be very interesting. So yeah, so either way, that's the thing I wanted to show real quick, and I thought it was interesting and probably something we could do eventually. Is there like any people in the audience right now? We're at 21. Is there anybody else in the audience that has any other hacking games that could be interesting to play? I got RMB that mentioned a couple. Mentioned pretty much like 3 different type of games: Grey Hack, Untrusted, 19.4. Maybe there's something else that's we're missing that's a little bit more recent. Beyond the one that is like from Try Hack Me, or we got Sounds right now with the Holiday Hack Challenge 2024. That one I'd love to be able to do that. PowerShell for cyber defense. Nope. That's good. Well, that's good. At least we got a couple here that are really good, good ones that I really like. If I bring it back over here to this window here, that's the one that's could be interesting also to go through tomorrow. Ransomware, reverse engineering, hardware hacking. Again, that's the part that was the whole goal of this channel today. Well, I mean, the main goal of this channel today, which we did talk about. So if there's people that are interested, just let me know. I'll just resume exactly what we've talked about before for the hardware hacking. But I'm very interested in this. Is there, if you'd like to enter the contest with a chance to win, submit a report with a description of how you solve each objectives via email. Okay, or the Google form over here. When are the closing announcements? Join. Okay. Does it say when it stops? Closing ceremony. So I'm assuming January 16th is going to be the latest time to be able to do that. Those ones are songs. Okay, that was last year. Chat and NP, chat and NPT. There we go. But the other one, yeah, let's go back again here. Like Try Hack Me, Holiday 2024. I can probably get Advent for Cyber. of cyber. There we go. That's the one we can join in. And this one had a lot of different things that are interesting. A lot of vouchers, lots of different prices that can be accumulated. You can see here the prices. So I've completed it. That's something that could be very interesting. Like the first, I would say 6 tasks, there's pretty much nothing to do. But then afterwards, there is stuff that can be done. You can also watch the videos that are done from fellow YouTubers or Twitch streamers or something like that. And then you get to learn a lot of stuff. I think the one I kind of liked the most was 19. Can I go here? Is it task 19 or? Can't remember exactly if it's this one. No, that's not 19. I think it's day 19. Yeah, it's probably more day 19. Day 19. I think this one was interesting. Is it this one? Trying to remember. There's so many different things that were done, but either way, you can see here lots of stuff to be able to go through and then manage. Ryan, maybe one. Have you done the cyber challenge, the event for cyber, right? Advent of cyber? I'm trying to remember which one it was. You want to know what happened to your ashes? There's an AI interaction over here. The sensor analyze was score. I think that could be a good stream for tomorrow. Maybe not this one, but I would probably go for this guy over here. And if you guys want to join at the same time, it's all free. So we could do this while it's over here, and it's the season as well too. And then next time we can probably do the other one. Oh, he said there. Well, there it's hard for me to know which one is there. There's a little bit of delay between you and I, Jake. Yes. Ryan may be one there. Yes. And try hack me. So do you know which day or which task you are? Oh, okay, yes, for and try hack me. So you completed them. Good. Good, perfect. How did you like it this year? Was it good? I thought it was good. I mean, like maybe a bit more on the beginner side. However, obviously that's how they advertise it as well. Easy. But this is something that I think is very valuable for a lot of people. There was lots of good lesson learned for most people. Hack the box, there is one. Hack the box, there is one. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to log on from here just yet. I might have to. They have one, I think. I think it's a Sherlock. December 18th, 2024, Hack the Box event, University. No, it's not that hard. Hack the Box. It's no, not CTF. Holiday. There is one. Okay, give me a second. I'm just I'm going to just go one person so you guys don't see all the stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to log in really quick. Hack the Box. So there's one with Hack the Box. If you guys have a subscription, we can probably do it. Or I can try to reach out to Hack the Box, but during the holiday season, it might be hard to be able to get access to this. At least might not be feasible. Can I just log in? Please allow me in. Thank you. And now I need. Give me a second. It won't be long. I just need to get all my credentials because I don't know my credentials. They were way too long. I need to use a password manager for this. And I make sure it's not connected directly to this browser because I've seen this in the past happening, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. So which one it is? That's interesting. A week ago, no. Okay, it's probably this one here. Yeah, so Hack the Box, they should have their specific one in there. Okay, and then now I need the verification code. And we're going to go on to the labs. Okay. Let me close this and then put it back up. All right, so if we go take a look into Sherlock over here, is it? I don't know if they're retired now. Crown Jewels. So see here, opt-in cell trace 24-4, -2, -5, -1. So op. Oh, there's Salwar as well. So there's all the op in there probably. So let's go and do the op. Is there a better way to be able to change this? So the 2024 seems to be available to everyone pretty much. And then the other one needs a VIP to be able to get access. 24 dash, maybe if I do instead 24 dash, probably we're going to get, oh, not Hack the Box here. 24 dash. Oh, it's not able to find it. Maybe it's looking from the beginning. Are we able to put them there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 over here. 1 malware analysis, DFIR, malware analysis. Oh, they were VIP, these ones. DFIR, SOC. Is there another 2024? There's another 2024. Sneaky cookie. So what was the difference between this one? Was it for technology customer around the clock? So it seems that this one probably is more for like a different time. Yeah, Sherlock info. Oh, okay, there we go. So that was during the Halloween. So that's the reason why. So if we go back down here and then we have op, we have them separated. We don't look at the VIP ones, we look at the other ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So mainly the FIR and then one cloud in there. You take a look at the first one here. Real quick, we can see here campus, the cyber threat actor infiltrated Santa's workshops, digital infrastructure. So that's the one you're, I think you're referring to, right? No, I don't think that anyone here saw my password because they were hidden. But just in case that happens at one point, this is something I don't want to experiment. That's the reason why I'm using password manager mainly, right? But let's say those stuff here, sometimes, like if I have the extension activated over here with this one, it's probably going to have like my password manager over here. And then at that point, that's how you're going to be able to see maybe my emails or something like that. I mean, not that my emails are not necessarily like private that much because they are all out there. Like I'm receiving emails from everywhere, even my business email and all that, like personal email, business email and all that. So I just want to make sure that these things are separated and we don't see them. So that's why I deactivated or remove basically my password manager there. So they don't show up whenever I get to a point like here and tells me that I want to enter your password there. But no, it never happened. So yeah, so that's the other possibility that can be there as well with Hack the Box. But in this case, if you guys want to do it, you would need to have an account. This one is hard. Yeah, you need an account for these ones for sure. And these ones will be harder. So it depends on your level of expertise, I would say. And the FIR is going to be more like you get, I can go back in there. you get a file, you download it, and then you utilize it, right? Compared to the other one with Try Hack Me over here. So are we able to start from here? No. I'll start machine. So you can start a machine, and you can start also the, do we have any from here? No. Sorry, I'm scrolling a little bit left and right. I don't know exactly where it's at. So maybe it's day one. No, I don't see it. So either way, you can start your own machine as well. Maybe I don't see it because I don't have an account right now. Like I'm not on my account, but you can start the attack box, which is a Kali VM that will be provided to you. And then you start the machine, which is going to give you the IP address and the port number that you're going to be able to hack. And then you read the whole thing and then you do it. So that's something that's going to be way different. On the Hack the Box side, you download the file, you put it on your Kali machine, and then you do the machines, or at least the challenge through this, which is a bit more towards Sherlock, right? So there's that. Academy, there we go. So that's what it is. But this one here, that Sans, is very interesting. That's probably the one we should probably do tomorrow or something like that. What do you guys think about stream tomorrow? We got 21 people still. That's great. Anybody up for a stream? So for those that join us, I mean, like while I'm waiting for people to answer, like if you're up for a stream for tomorrow, for the people just joining us, what we talked about today, it's basically, I think I'm going to go with his blog post, and it's basically we're looking at doing hardware hacking. I found hardware hacking very interesting when I start taking a look at Matt Brown YouTube page. So if you're interested in it, you can see it here. You can probably post it directly onto Discord channel, not Discord, but onto this one. Sorry, on YouTube and Twitch. And then yeah, so I learned about this, really loved it. So I decided to do a little bit more digging, found some information, and I decided that it'd be good. I mean, like I'm gonna have to order some pieces and so on, right? Because we were taking a look at all the stuff that needs to be done over here. And then according to this one here, we need a couple stuff that I already have, right? This one I don't, I just need to order it. And this I do, this I already have. So there's not much for me needed to be able to get it done. There's another extra thing to be able to read the chip that are on those panels there, right? So that's the only thing I would say. That's probably like $125 to be able to do that. And we're going to be able to go even further. So I'd like to be able to go more and more. So make sure that you join our Discord server. It's in the description if you want to join. I also posted it in the chat a couple times. I'm thinking that I should probably do it in the morning, probably a bit more, probably around 10. So 10 Eastern time. So basically, like it's 3 hours before when I started, which is 1 a.m. So if you take 10 Eastern time and then you convert it to your time zone, that's probably around there that I'd be interested in starting to stream. And then we can do like probably this one here together, right? The 2024 challenge topics. That could be very interesting. And then see how far we can go together. Yeah, so that's what it is. So if I keep going over here, back, there's this. So overall, I think the budget will not be higher than $200. If you need an iron, you need a couple of things. It might be around the 250, depending on which one you want to take. This one is a very simple, very easy to use to be able to desolder or solder basically those pins or those wires onto the pins that you need to get the information from. And then after that, we can do some sort of like, if you take a look over here, I'm just going to show you what you see here. Like those pins, he's going to be plugged them on. Not every routers are like that or every IoT devices, so it might be a little bit harder, but this one here, you see, he does that. And then after that, just turn it on, right? By turning it on, it's going to post a bunch of different information over here. And he's going to be able to see the Again, the router loading up, because the router is like a Linux device in most cases, I would say. So that's basically what we're going to do. And then over the course of the next few weeks, I will be acquiring those tools, bring them over here. I got a top-down camera. You guys don't see it right now, but there's another camera that's over here. So it's going to be able to shoot down. You guys are going to be able to see that. I have as well another laptop that we're going to use, a laptop that is very old. So it's not a laptop I would use for gaming, but still decent enough, that has like ports. You can see probably on the side over here that there's like still a CD. There we go, right here. You can plug in CDs in there still. There's also VGA. Am I going to see it or too close? Yeah. No, it does not want to zoom, but there's VGA over here. So that's another thing too, just to point out that this is not a brand new machine. And I want to use stuff that I have at hand, like even I don't have any iFixit kit. So I'm going to be using a toolkit that I found, that I bought like probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And if you want to buy one at a hardware store, it's probably like $15 to be able to buy them. If you buy iFixit kit, obviously this is much better quality. But more expensive. So your mileage may vary in between the two different type of stuff. And I mean, like screwdriver is not that bad, right? So something easy enough to be able to use. All right. So do you guys have any questions? Tomorrow, I think this would be a great time to go with the holiday hack challenge. I'm going to post it directly into directly there on YouTube and Twitch. So if you guys want to join in tomorrow, that's going to be the one that you're going to be able to join, right? So if you want to create your own account just to start with, and then be ready for tomorrow, we can start hacking our way through, and then just learn about how it's done. Because I never did it, so I have no idea. So that's why Try Hack Me is a good one. But since I already did that, I don't want to have to redo it again. And then this one, I did not do it. So maybe that's something as well. If we get the Sans one, we could probably go back to the Hack the Box challenges, which are free as long as you have an account before they go on the VIP side of it. Maybe one use CD is Mr. Robots. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I went through my boxes lately because I got a bunch of stuff from moving from left to right and all that. So there's still stuff into boxes. And yesterday I found a bunch of like DVD writable discs. So I thought it was interesting to find those ones again. I got one that's dual layer as well. I was like, ooh, I don't remember even using one, so I don't know when I got that. But I think I got a sleeve of like 150 DVDs. I should probably just get rid of them at one point, or give them away to someone that's gonna use them for a good cause. Because to me, they're pretty much useless. Like right now, it's easy enough to be able to get like USB devices. It's easy enough to be able to get. Now you go to Costco. Where it is. I'm saying it's easy enough, but I'm not finding it anymore. Where did I put it? Oh, it's probably the other one, Bodo. There we go. So I got another drive over here. I got a drive down there. I got tons of USBs. You know the camera device or the camera I took apart? This one. Hold on, it's coming up. So I took it all apart. I got those pieces over here, and I got the camera right there. Right. So all those devices, there is a chip in there. So I can reuse that chip for something else. So most of the devices that we use, a lot of times they already have chips in them, so we can reuse them when we don't use them anymore, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind. So if I need I need extra space, I got them. So good. right. So that's why DVDs, I don't think they're useful anymore. Unless you guys have other ideas. I mean, like we can use for frisbees. Can use to, you know, those pigeon things that people are using shotguns to be able to fire at? They throw them in the air and then they fire at them. That could be another thing that's good for. However, probably not good for the environment. That's good. All right. So let's say 10 Eastern time. Around that time frame, that's when I'm going to be coming live. If you want, again, to create your account, I posted it a second ago onto the chat. Just make sure you get a hold of it. If you are on X, I would highly recommend that you either join our Discord server. It's going to be in the description. Oh, I guess you don't have the description on X, but try to move on to. I guess I can show it over here. YouTube. There's Malvik. Well, I mean, I guess I might just rebrand the whole thing on the Hack the Box because I want to show more Ottawa meetup. All right, so it should be easy enough to just go there. That's our page. Like right now, you can see we're live, right? That's exactly what it is. If you join directly over here, you're going to be able to see this. We're probably going to rebrand it to be under Malvik Security eventually, instead of having two different channels, because I'm running two different channels at the same time. Malvik Security 1 is brand new, but I was like, why would I keep doing or maintaining a platform where there's not a whole lot of subscribers? I just got it. And then now I got the Hack the Box meetup, and I just want to be able to have more content than just Hack the Box. So I think that's going to be a great thing to actually do and work on and get done. Worst case scenario, not worst case scenario, another place that you can get there is also the Twitch. So again, if you're watching on not Cyberpunk, Cyber Malvik, not Malik. Do I have Malvik? Twitch, Cyber Malvik. I really want this. Might not be super popular. Cyber Malvik, interesting. Okay, let me just find the actual page for a second. I just need to get onto a different browser. I'll go on Twitch. Okay, can I create creator, privacy, Twitch recap? I think I shared it at one point. I'm just trying to see if I can get easily access. There we go. I think all right, I got it. It's right there. So Twitch Cyber Malvik, I guess that's exactly what you need to enter over here, right? So you can see I'm streaming myself over here, searching for this. There you go. So make sure you join in, and you're going to be able to see exactly what's going on in the chat, and we're going to be able to interact together. I think this is the best way to be able to maintain this. Let's move on to a different thing instead of seeing just a continuum of the same page. There you go. So I think there is lots of stuff that we can go through. So just make sure you get onto the right platform so we can keep going with this. So I see Jake. They don't use CD laptop. No, we talked about that. Good. Kids today don't know there is such a thing as an old CD or tape. True. They don't know that. If you give a cassette to kids nowadays and you ask them how to use it, they're probably not going to understand exactly what's the concept behind that, unless they already seen it on YouTube or something like this, right? So I would assume that probably my kids would know because they're very connected on YouTube and the likes. So they probably seen that and they probably already know about it, unfortunately. So I cannot trick them, but that's something that could be very interesting. Okay. Don't see anything else here. Perfect. So make sure that you go on that. I think I got everybody. It was nice to be able to see everyone. We got 22 people right now in the stream. It was great seeing you. If you're just joining, make sure that you tune in for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please do adjust to your time if that's a little bit different. I think we're like at -4, -5 from UTC. I think it's what, 5 hours different with UTC. So that'd be -5. So basically, if you're looking for UTC time, that'd be like around 3 p.m. UTC time, universal time, whatever. All right, so it was nice to see you, Jake. Great. Thank you very much for all the exchange, talking back and forth. Really appreciate it. And also for RMB for proposing a couple of games that we can play eventually, probably on the weekend or stuff like that. That could be like very, very interesting. So on this, I wish you a good day or good evening, depending on where you're at. And we'll see each other soon. So cheers. Have a good one.